Wow, that was.
I heard a late ass clap. Did anyone else hear that?
There's some latency, boys.
There's some lag somewhere.
Yeah,
There's
well,
some latency.
we'll
There's
just
mad
deal with it.
latency.
All right,
Okay.
but we all
Okay.
clapped at 36. Now just 10
Yeah,
seconds
we'll come
of
to 36.
silence.
Yeah, well, from 36:20 to
when?
36:35. Okay, we should be good. Okay, then
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, I guess we're ready to start.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. But yes, hello, welcome back to yet another podcast. Holy crap! Honestly, I think this is like the 8th podcast we have in a row on this channel.
Wow.
God damn.
Yeah. It's,
So where's the podcast channel then?
You got that lazy content out here.
no, it's like
Ain't nobody recording footage up in here.
like after
Nah,
this.
son.
After this, no more podcasts for a while. I need to like get the Dead by Daylight video done and the Godzilla tier list done, but none of that. Today, I have with me, coming in from the Godzilla podcast, it's our boy, Lee Simba, not Samamba, as I've been made aware.
I can't believe you just put my government out like that for everyone to see. I see how it is.
And then
And you missed the T. Lee T Simba, goddammit. But it's fine. It's fine.
joining us again from the Art podcast, we have Audle. Welcome back.
What's up? It's a pleasure to be here. No, it's not.
Yeah, we know.
You know
we
goddamn well you're not
I'm a
happy.
liar. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
My guilt is eating me already.
And joining us again from the Figure podcast, we have Solsa, who is now our official weeb connoisseur.
Thank you. I'm sure you'll come to regret me being here even more than you already did.
I mean, you've been good
That's on
company thus
God.
far, but the fact that you won't get Jurassic World Live
Thus
is
far.
unacceptable.
You're enjoying the company thus far. Trust me, I got room to fall.
Everyone shut up. Everyone shut the frig up. Yo, Raul, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about?
Yes, gentlemen, today we are talking about Attack on Titan. Not only the anime, but also the manga.
A show and manga series we have all read and watched to different degrees.
Yes.
So this is going to be interesting.
Jaeger.
Shut up.
I love that theme. I
Half of
honestly
us
do.
will not know what the other half is talking about. This is going to be incredible.
Please allow me. I insist. Well, basically, yeah, because we're all fans of Attack on Titan. I think we've all seen all 4 seasons of the anime, and like so far, I think Otto's the only one who's caught up to the manga right now. But like the rest of us are like, we're not all the way there. But you know, we've read enough.
We know what happens. We've seen some shit.
Yeah,
That's true. So right now we're just gonna go through all the seasons, season 1, 2, 3, 4 in manga. And honestly, like I feel like there's no point just saying spoiler warning because like you're just gonna catch spoilers randomly. Like if anything, we're just not gonna spoil the season or the manga until we get to that section though. So you know, if you haven't read the manga and you don't get spoiled on it, you just wait for the manga section, then you just know to like leave the podcast and like read it, and then you can come and listen to the rest.
Yeah.
But before you leave, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell.
Well, follow me on Twitter, man. You should cash at me 1,000 Bitcoin. Let's go.
Oh
I'll
my
cash
God.
at you 2,000
Make
Show
back. Would be great.
sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends.
Make sure to follow my OnlyFans.
Thank you for Manscaped for supporting this
Make sure
channel
to-
and me.
Make sure to follow my girls'
Just 40 minutes
OnlyFans.
ago.
Alright, gentlemen, in the famous words of every Whiterun guard that I ran into in Skyrim, enough lollygagging with.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. I guess we gotta, because obviously we're gonna start with season 1, which I think is like, it's a bit more special than the other season just because like, when Attack on Titan came out, it was like big. It was like popular as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a literal lightning in a bottle moment for that show. Like
For real.
I couldn't go through YouTube without seeing at least one video in my recommendations that involves Attack on Titan.
Some people even argue that Attack on Titan had probably like one of the biggest like anime series launches. You know, like the explosion of popularity it had. It immediately catapulted a movie project too. It wasn't good, but I mean, it still got a movie project
They
out there pretty early.
They tried, and then they kicked ass with Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
I mean, it had some crazy mass appeal. Like even people who are like not anime
Into
fans
anime.
in any
Yeah,
way,
well,
shape, or
exactly.
form, like knew about it and were talking about it.
Funny enough, a little story. It was. I'm gonna say it's funny. In fact, one of the reasons why I got into anime. Now I watched animes before, like sparingly, but like the reason I got into it was because Rahul saw this show and he's like, "Yo, Ada, you have to see this show." I'm like, I don't know, man. He came to my house took me to my basement where we had, we plugged in the putting the show on the TV. He made me sit through the first episode. I saw that first episode. I saw the ending. I'm like, well, good. I have exams coming up, but I can't stop watching this. I need to see the next episode. And I just binged the entire thing. And let's just say I got some bad grades, but it's okay. It was worth it.
The sacrifice.
The sacrifice well made.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Also to hear about like Attack on Titan from like my specific getting, because I'm an anime fan, but the things like because I'm not sure if casual fans may notice this, but like anime debuts in like seasons, like it all comes out like the same, they all come out like the same like week or like 4 times a year. That's when like the new anime starts and it ends.
Yeah, they kind of do it quarterly.
Yeah,
they do it quarterly. Like there's 4 anime seasons and things. I don't really watch anime like seasonally. I watch some now, but at the time I had no idea it was just a thing. So then I'd be hearing stuff like, "Yo, Levi's sick as fuck." It's like, ooh, like Attack on Titan, and like, oh, the main character dies in the episode 5. Like, what? Like, I don't know any of this shit. But like, that's how I got into it. Like, when I started watching it, I don't think it was good. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that like, was Attack on Titan deserving the hype? Because it was so popular, there was also a group of people just like naysaying, being like, it's not that good. And how do you guys feel about that?
So
if you
I think it was. No, sorry, you go ahead. You go.
Yeah,
first.
you go ahead. So you.
All right.
No, you. I insist.
Which is you? Who is
so
you?
Rahul's like, fine, I'll go. No, I think it's like it was definitely very good, like the way it started, and it was a lot of people were praising it as like one of super violent shows, and I got back because I had like a brief hiatus from anime when I was like around when I turned 10, and then like around maybe 5 or 6 years later, I got back into anime around the time just before Attack on Titan came out. So I had been desensitized to the super violent shit by then, so I was kind of prepared to watch Attack on Titan, but like a lot of people were saying it was just like a shock value kind of thing where it's like people getting eaten and bitten in half and their arms bitten off and then just cutting these big creatures down and stuff. And this was before I was like into the animation side of it, but even then I really recognized how the art style was very impactful and how just like the story kind of, I mean, that's a good question. Is the story of the first season that fantastic?
That's very...
Actually, I have some commentary on that, because like people saying that it was only good because of shock value. I feel like that's
it wasn't
not,
trash,
I don't get that.
but like,
but no, it's just like the story. I feel like it's good because it set itself up in a good way. Because like at first, the way I understand like Titans, which is like after like reading the manga, I understand it's not like this at all. But like it was more so like Titans are basically like zombies. That's the way I first thought of it. Because you can't negotiate with Titans; they eat you. And they're like, man, so like in my mind, Titans are basically like, it's like an alternate version of zombies. But like, I think what made the show like popular is because like it felt very unique. Okay, like even now, can you think of like shonen that like premise wise are similar to Attack on Titan? Like,
well, I mean, there's Attack on Trains, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Yeah, made by the exact same studio after
exact same thing. Yeah.
Okay, well,
let me copy your homework. Sure, just change it up a little.
Yeah, like real shit. So I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like, to me, Attack on Titan, I thought it was good, because like, like when I was watching, because like the first episode, I thought this was done great, and like I think like, I believe it's the same director who like went behind like in the Death Note and some like other series as well, and I feel like it's got like, it had like such great moments to it. I was like super engrossed in season 1 up until about, like the battle on Tross when like Aaron, like he put the rock to seal up the wall again. Up until there, that was like, man, this is like great, amazing story. Like, not to say that the other half sucked, but like it definitely slowed down a lot.
Yeah, they really hit the brakes on that one.
Yeah, like Aaron, like, is Aaron like a menace to society and all this other shit, and like with the female side, and it was interesting. But I just want to say, I think the first half of season 1 was like the better half, and I see that's why it hooked so many people. So I do feel like it did deserve a hype.
I think that's one thing that the show did really good that got such a strong hype. That first episode, like it starts off right at 100, like the way it ends.
A fantastic first episode.
Exactly. I mean, come on, like that. What an impactful...
You're right. They come out the gates hot, like
literally, but crash.
Here you saw no representing again.
Beginning where you just dump straight to hell, and again, like the show does in my opinion, in terms of story wise, it did a very good job at keeping me interested, because you're thrown into this world. You have all these questions. Part of the show is like you're trying to find the answers, and a lot of these questions you don't get the answers to until season 4, which we'll not get to right now. Yeah. But like, it's like it's part of the intrigue that kept you going all along and trying to figure out.
It's like a good mystery aspect.
Exactly.
For the longest time, the question is like, okay, then what's in the basement? What
honestly,
my dad gave me.
Yeah, like what is
right? Because that was just a huge like, what's in the basement had the opportunity to be a really shit MacGuffin, but I feel like they actually did pretty well. Like,
They
chances
did.
are, I doubt. I know Isayama didn't necessarily. I feel like, and this ain't documented, but I feel like Isayama probably didn't know what he was gonna put in the basement until he got closer to that part. Probably just he was like starting off the manga and thought, "Fuck it, I'll just put a compelling plot hook there, and then figure out the bait to put on the hook later."
Actually,
No, I mean,
But like,
I
probably
feel
they had to figure it out later on down the way. But I feel like there was a very like the payoff for like the hook of what's in the basement was very well rewarded. Like I can think of a lot of other anime where they've been teasing some big secret for the entire show, and then you get to the end and it's like, that's it.
Yeah. You know, but I will say this, you know, to that point, right? We're not gonna get into what is in the basement or like in the details into because that is in the manga mostly. But well, a bit of season 3 too. But
Well, season 3, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But the thing is that was incredible about that is like, if I look at it from a logic perspective, it looked like everything was well planned out. But the only reason I would agree with you that he didn't know was because based on his interviews, he didn't seem like he knew. But yeah, it was woven into the story really well. It was a brilliant payoff, and you know, and you learn about the basements through these weird flashbacks of like, these flashes of memories and everything, right? And it's so weird. Like when I first saw it, I'm like,
I think it's positive because I realized like this is pretty much this isn't talk of like season 1 too much. So we talk about the basement, and now we're talking about like how we receive the basement that actually.
Well, let's get back to season 1 a bit.
What I want to discuss season 1 was character wise because I feel like it was a meme that Aaron's a little whiny bitch. Aaron's like, oh, killing the Titans. Aaron doesn't want to fuck his sister, which he should. Which is like, you know, I just want to say because I feel like the most popular character, if we just go by favorites on my animus, the most popular character it's like Levi, Mikasa, and then Aaron and Andrew. Not because he's the third most popular, but it's because like he's the main character, so it makes sense. I really liked Levi's introduction scene. I can't remember what they did specifically, but like they established from the start that Levi, he's a germaphobe, he hates germs and all that shit. And like we saw him, he fought so many Titans just by himself. And at the end, like one of the soldiers was like dying, and then a bunch of blood in his hand. I thought, like, oh, Levi, he hates like discussing shit. But like Levi just grabs his hand and like sacrifice. Like god damn, that was
his allies are more important than that's super good character development right there.
I'm sure it's called character development. Like,
well, not development, but like exactly.
Yeah,
that's right. He was good. But
it's almost like a bait and switch. You think he's just gonna be like the prissy, like clean germaphobe, and then he's willing to cast that all aside just for the sake of his ally.
Yeah, man, that show was dope. But how do you feel about how do you guys feel about Aaron specifically?
So I feel like I don't know if Aaron was a bait and switch as well, because like you said, it kind of made him off to be like the whiny bitch, and then the start of the training camp thing made him seem to look like a shitlord, and then it was like, oh, his belt was broken, kind of thing, and then he's actually really good at it in the end. I mean, not as good as Mikasa clearly, but like as you know, like he's actually decent at it.
I actually thought because the thing about Aaron is like Aaron didn't even piss me off before because like he was remember I can't remember his name, was it Hans? What was his name, the blonde guy who was their childhood friend, not Armin, Hans or whatever. Anyway, when Hans was carrying like Mikasa and Anna, I remember like Mikasa couldn't look because she turned away, but Aaron saw his mom get bit in fucking half, and I'm saying that would fuck up a kid. Like I understood because like Aaron, he wanted to do good. I remember like because we first meet because you just talk about Aaron at the training camp. You know, we met John, who wants to go out to the inner worlds because he's a fucking pussy, which is fine. But like one thing that like pissed me off, which I probably should have been this place, was actually towards the end of the first season. Like you know when they figured out that Annie's a female Titan. I remember that because he tried to transform, but like his heart wasn't in it. And I remember I remember thinking Aaron was such a pussy because I remember like Mikasa and Armin had a strategy. It was like shit because now Annie's transformed. It's like Mikasa's like I'll go this way. Armin's like I'll go this way. And it's like, but if this happens, one of you is gonna die if this plan goes through. But they end up getting lucky because like Aaron got stomped. I remember I was so fucking pissed because like obviously he's an anime character. If this was real life, I can understand. But the anime like no, Aaron. I didn't like how he eventually came through, but no, I was molding. Everyone was dying and fighting the female Titan. Aaron is just like in his fucking feelings. So
a personal pet peeve of mine is like apathetic characters or characters, not characters who don't do it, characters who won't do it, like should and will have a reason to but won't. I fucking hate that. And that's why like you're right, second half Aaron was just like either die or kill somebody, do something.
Because the sad part is this like because I remember like he couldn't transform because he couldn't focus. I feel like he didn't want to be this way, but the thing is like he couldn't, like he bit himself and he just couldn't fucking transform because like his mind was like weak. It's kind of like
I'm not sure Aaron or Annie's gonna have to do it again.
Have you guys ever seen this relates this way? You guys ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Bits and pieces. Well, I started, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, there's this arc where people are like the main bad guy wants to like bring the strength out of like Yusuke being the main character, and the thing is like Yusuke wasn't able to do it until like he saw his friends, like one of his friends potentially die, and that like brought like power within him. I feel like, man, I wish like it sucks. I wish Eren could like pull that power without like needing that extra push and shit, but like eventually he came through, so he did.
That's every anime. Like, look at Goku didn't turn Super Saiyan until Krillin died. Pouring out for my nigga Krillin.
Pouring out for my nigga Krillin. True. Yes, that's fine. So I feel like, I don't know, because Eren is like, he's an okay, but a character that actually interested me a lot was Jean, because I remember thinking to myself, I never liked Jean, but the thing is like, I'm so obsessed with him. Yeah, I'm so obsessed with John now just because you know, when we meet him, it's like I'm just trying to live safe inside the walls, and he's such a little shit about it. Like he's smiling too, like this is the best way. And because I remember like he's beefing with Eren, but I thought the way like because when they found out that like I remember like when they found out that they have to stay and fight to protect Trost because the Colossal Titan came back. I remember like John being like, and he was so fucking mad, and Aaron's just like, John, fight for today, then go to the inner walls tomorrow, man. Everything's gonna be okay. Aaron was like, everything's gonna be fine, but just like just fight for one day and you're good. I don't even think we got a proper explanation, but just see like because John was good friends with Marco, and like finding Marco half corpse, which doesn't make sense, which we'll talk about a bit later. It's like it kind of shifted him to change. Because I thought like there's two scenes that really stood out to me. Everyone is pretty much joining like the Survey Corps. I remember like Commander Irwin, who's such a good character. Like he's giving a speech about like, you know, the Survey Corps, it's dangerous, you'll probably die, but it's all to help humanity. And almost everyone ran away except for people in like Aaron's class, and they're like they had their hand on their chest, saying like, yes sir, we are ready. Because that one day molded them a lot to know that fuck man, I want to save humanity. Because it was a fucked up bit. I thought that team was really strong. But also the scene which I thought was like this was the most badass for me was back when like everyone was graduating, because like this whole top 10 and like most of the cast was in it. I remember was Sasha saying like, yo, I just stole some meat, let's share it later, and everyone's on the wall, and like everything's gonna be fine. Because I remember Aaron turns to look at the city, and like in the fact of lightning, the Colossal Titan appears in slow motion, and I'm in a way. Because I remember everyone's hanging, and everyone's like almost freaking out, and Aaron's like, guys, this is our opportunity, and he climbs up on the wall, and I remember he just standing, he's talking to the Colossal Titan like, it's been 4 years since you've taken everything away from me. I thought that shit was so goddamn sick.
That was fantastic.
No more. It also showed his growth. Like he was not afraid. He went in for it too. Because like before he was just a kid. He couldn't do anything. You can see he had the guts, but he was unable to do shit. But now he still wasn't capable of doing it. But at least you can see that he went for the attack and he almost led it too. So that really showed a bit of character growth that I liked too.
Yeah. Also, just brilliant directing.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
incredible.
back on Irwin's speech, a little parts that you missed out, which is arguably my favorite part of it. He's like, yeah, this shit's super dangerous. I think he was like 8 and 10 of you that come with me will die, but this for humanity. But the 2 that live will become elite soldiers, and your survival rate will skyrocket. And that's why the Survey Corps is small, but like, and they don't recruit a lot, but like the ones that survive their first mission learn some shit about the Titans.
Yeah,
and then they don't make those mistakes next time.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say,
I love that part of Irwin's speech where he's just like, there's a chance you'll die, but if you live, there's a good chance you'll continue to live.
I will say one thing though, if we are in terms of season 1, there was one personal flaw for me that I saw that I don't know. I want to know if it was the same for you as well, right? And I remember when Rahul first told me the show, he's like, yo, this is like Game of Thrones, right? I'm like, okay, Game of Thrones is like this epic show, this and that, all that stuff, right?
It did fucking well better than Game of Thrones.
It's certainly going that direction. But for me, like, keep on, like, this is in the context of the first season, right? Like, you don't know the rest of the story and this and that, right? From an anime viewer, it seemed to me like all the major plot twists that the show was trying to reveal, I saw coming way before it happened. Like Eren being the attack titan, I saw coming. Eren not being really dead, I saw coming. Yeah. Annie being the female titan, I saw that a mile away.
Annie surprised me. But like, I don't think anyone has a right to be surprised by Reiner.
Yeah.
Actually, can I tell this real quick? Like,
go ahead.
I was caught a little off guard by Reiner, but okay.
I was kind of guard because I didn't know that the depth of this, because after season 1 ended, like I think I literally like started, even though you're watching the series, I was checking the wiki for it, and I clicked on the Colossal Titan. Because like some said that something the Colossal Titan attack. So I clicked on the little highlight thing to the page of the Colossal Titan, but it was Bertholdt. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It was weird.
I mean-
So like, I literally just stared at it for maybe like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh fuck, the shit. And I think I just read something that right there to say that Ryan was an armored titan. I'm like, what the fuck? And my mind was freaking out. Like I spoiled that for myself. And I forgot. Like, shit,
Yeah,
man.
then you spoil
I-
it. and then you're
From the
circled.
second that we learned that humans can turn into titans, I just like, and then we see the armored titan again. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, that's no. It wasn't even that we see the armored titan again. Then I saw Ryder again. I was like, oh, so it was him.
Oh, you-
That's just interesting because for me that was a surprise.
It
That-
just
but-
straight up looks like
and-
him, frankly.
Yeah, but that's what kind of gave it to me for me with Annie, because I saw
Yeah.
Annie coming a mile away.
Yeah,
but,
it's the same
Bard
face.
Vista good at fighting. Like,
But,
It's
um,
just the same face, and then the stance, yeah.
yeah, the Rhino thing and the Berto thing, that caught me off guard. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention as well. But
More
we're,
of a surprise because it doesn't.
but I will say this: there's a lot I want to get into, but that's season 3. Should we like wrap up season 1 and get to like
That's
those
true.
bits?
Oh, I'm actually keeping track of us. We've only been 25 minutes on season 1. So yeah, so I guess we can do our closing statements for season 1 before we move to season 2.
Yeah.
I will start us off.
So we can conclude that Rahul doesn't like season 1 and prefers season 2.
Really? Kind of.
He's
yeah.
also racist.
But yeah,
I was
personally,
joking. Wait, I was joking.
like personally, I liked season 1. It is probably my gateway anime for my current years, and I think it's like the perfect balance between like you have the gore porn monster animes like Blood Sea, and
Yeah.
then you have the more sophisticated monster animes like Evangelion. I feel like Attack on Titan found a nice middle ground where it's gory, but it's not just gore for shock value. And,
Yeah, it's a little bit more refined than that, I guess.
Yeah, my only problem has to be the monster designs, which I'll do a separate video on that. Yeah, overall, this season 1, it was pretty good. Yeah.
So for me, yeah, like I said, this show really, like, this season kind of got me into anime when I saw this, because I mean, it starts off with a blistering pace, a lot of shock, a lot of like epic design in terms of like animation, all that stuff, right? It really hooked me in. Yes, it did slow down later on, but I think even though I did see the major plot twist coming ahead of time, and I was a little bit disappointed by that. I kept watching through, and I had to say, in the end of it, like, again, the action scenes, like, you know, some of the the unique concept of the story, the unique themes that they delve on that you don't always, you know, it's not saying it's the only one to have done that, but it's not. It was very fresh for me, and I have to say, in the end, when I look back at season 1, I look at it favorably. I don't think it's shit. I don't think it's garbage. I feel like that's just pushing it. You know, this show was pretty good, and this season was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's great, because season 3, that was a different level for me, but like, you know,
We'll
yeah,
get there.
yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
Right,
So
if
that's
you had to rate out of 10, what do you rate it if you had to?
Oh no,
that's hard.
it's been so long.
I'm feeling an 8. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think
Is that
it's
fair?
I mean, I was gonna give it a light 8. I was gonna give it that score too.
You were gonna give it an 8 as well?
Yeah, because I was thinking like for a 7, I realized like, wait, it's like, no, I like this show. It's just other
Yeah.
people around me that don't like the show, but I enjoy this show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because it had like a really good first half, and like, you know, towards the second half, it got like, I don't know, like some episodes were like a bit boring. Like when they left past the wall to all the greenery and foliage, like when the female Titan showed up, that was like, I don't say it was bad, but like it was just not as interesting as like the other stuff that happened. So that's why I couldn't give it like a 9 or 10. But, you know, yeah, I thought it was good enough. The direction, animation was good, score was good. So I feel like it's an 8.
Yeah, I feel like season 1 was like, it was an excellent start, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a good start. It was a good start.
It definitely broke some new ground. There was nothing like it at the time, nothing close. I don't think.
Yeah.
The Cabaneri came.
Yeah, and then they just kind of set the stage. Was it between 1 and 2 that they had the crazy long wait?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was it.
Like,
Yeah.
Common.
If anything, that's the only thing that I could possibly say. Like, first half of Attack on Titan season 1 was fantastic, an excellent start. The second half was a bit slower, and then the 2-year wait, I think.
No.
It was 4. It was 4.
4-year wait, yeah. The massive wait that just like drowned the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just like killed. I know, like honestly, a lot of people didn't give a fuck anymore at that point.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
by the time the next season of Attack on Titan came out, I didn't watch it, but like I watched it, but it wasn't really like, oh shit, Attack on Titan here. It was like, oh, Attack on Titan's back on. Alright, I'll
Yeah,
watch it.
same.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I felt that way with season 3 because the wait for season 2 was just so exhausting. While
Yeah, honestly, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like once that was
Same.
done, it's like, okay, let's wait another 5 years for season 3.
I wanna add something to this thought, right? Do you feel like because of the hype and how unique the show was and how this show was sort of like a lot of people got into anime through this show, and for people who don't watch anime and just mainly watch American cartoons, this is so unique that you feel like a lot of them just overhyped this show and gave it probably like a 10 out of 10 or whatever, and then as time went on, they watched more animes, other shows, better shows and all that stuff. They're like, it's probably an 8 or maybe
as a gateway, I think people do hype it up as like the second coming of Christ.
Yeah. But honestly, I think that's good behavior because like if it's the gateway, get through the anime, nigga, that's good.
That's a good show, exactly. You gotta give respect for that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, shit, the Pokemon anime got me into anime. Is it a good anime objectively? No.
Honestly,
like, it got me into the anime.
That's a really
good point.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be fantastic. It was a powerful gateway. It opened a gate that has not been closed since.
Yeah.
Oh wait, somebody should say this to like end of season 1. I was going to say like the last thing that like I want to say that hooked me on season 1 was specifically how it ended. And like, as it ended, I don't mean like when like Aaron tried to eat her physically, not sexually. He tried to eat her, and then like he did the crystal shit, and like Levi saved him. It was like they cut ahead to fucking the nighttime, zooming on the wall, and then like we found out the times were on the wall.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit!
And then the pause.
And boom, and now we're back into season 2 4 years later. Because what was like the first season, like season 2, wasn't it like Hanji on the wall with like a wall piece or some shit?
Yeah.
Right into like was like, nigga, I'll throw you off this motherfucking wall if you don't tell me what's up. I thought that was cool just because like Hanji was willing to kill this dude, or allegedly.
Hanji is
and this
fantastic.
Guy, and then this guy,
the fucking
like,
mind games, the strats.
The prince just pulled his arms out like, if you're gonna kill me, do it. Like, goddamn, this piece is hard. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. I also like how the little clues of the preset. I mean, like, what did he say? He say, you gotta cover that thing before the sun touches it, you know? Little things like that. These things, like, these are little clues that add on to the lore later on you see and everything. And
yeah, like, not only is there stuff that we don't know, but there are people who do know.
Exactly. And this is where one thing that I feel like it's worth saying now, because later on as you watch the show, you know, I said in season 1, a lot of the plot twists that I felt like the show was trying to make, I saw coming, right? But then I saw that, no, if you look at the story in large, those were not the main plot twists they were trying to sell you on. There were other plot twists and other features that they were trying to sell you on, and they actually did a good job at leaving you enough clues and hints to unravel the full story, you know?
Yeah,
like the flashback scenes, really the little bits with the priests, why people don't have a good memory, like the off things about, like, hey, you know, what created the walls? Like those little questions like that. These minor little bits of dialogue. Like, I think after season 2, you see that these little questions and little things are building in, and these are becoming more prevalent themes and questions for the characters, and they do lead good payoff in the story as well. And I felt like I started to notice these things a bit more in season 2, partly because of Irvin too, because that was one of his goals, you know, because of his father and everything. I think we learned that in season that we found in season 3, right? But
that's season.
I'm saying now, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was hinted that he had a personal reason for doing what he was doing, and again, stuff like this that was I felt like season 2 was doing a good job at.
One of the things that I think this show does fantastically on the whole is that it has the perfect mix of complete enigmas where it's like, where did the Titans come from? I don't fucking know. To things where it's like, who created the walls? This guy knows. Like, there's a complete mix of like enigmas that no one has a chance of solving, and then other massive mysteries, but you can see a thread for you to pull at. You can follow a trail.
Exactly.
There's a perfect mix of those kind of things where it's like, well, we may not right now know how to find where the Titans came from, but there's somebody who knows how the walls were made. He's just not talking. And if we follow up on that, we can try to get in there. And then in doing that, we might find something else. Like, they have some mysteries that cannot pursue. But like, it's better than just having a complete leaving people hanging with like, I don't fucking know.
Actually, something that bothered me a bit was not bothered me, but it's bothered my sister. Because like, I'm trying to turn my sister into the otaku gamer, which I want her to be. And I have no idea why I'm doing this.
One of us.
Shut up. But anyway, like, she liked Attack on Titan, but the issue was, like I said, it was like 4 goddamn years. I think she saw like a year after it came out. It's like 3 or 4 years after it came out. And I remember like what was frustrating was like some of the major events in Attack on Titan was now the audience understanding that like Bertholdt and Reiner were the Colossal and the Armored Titan. Bertholdt knocked everybody out and like they kidnapped Eren essentially. Because I remember like when Ymir is there, which is another thing we have to talk about soon. Pretty much like Eren just wants to make sense of it all. He's confused like Reiner, you're like a big brother to me, all this shit. Bertholdt, your kick put my mom under a fucking house. How do you feel? I felt bad for you. Like Eren was like mad as shit. Ymir, Reiner, and Bertholdt, they seem to understand because obviously like they're from the outside world. They seem to understand like what the outside world is. But the thing is like the way they were talking, it's like Ymir specifically. I don't know why she had some kind of allegiance to like Reiner and Bertholdt. Like she didn't want Eren to know what the truth of the world was. Like, even as the series went on and we now understand what the truth is, I don't understand why at that time Ymir didn't want to explain to Eren. So here's how the world works, all this shit. I thought it was a bit odd, but like I'm not too mad at it. It's just more so like this season to me, it gave us more questions than answers, and I feel like depending on how patient of an anime watcher you are, you may not care anymore. Because in season 1 we had questions of like how come Eren can turn into a Titan? If people can turn into Titans, like the female Titan, who are the Colossal Titan? Like we had those questions and why the Titans of the walls. But this season, the only answer we got, who were these Titans? So we figured out who they were. We now have questions of like why are these humans trying to destroy us, and also how come when Eren punched the Titan that ate his mom, how come the Titans attacked him? Like we had like a lot more questions than actual answers this season. So that's why I feel like even though like it wasn't bad to watch, I feel like it may be a little bit disappointing for like some viewers. At least that's my takeaway.
Yeah, and then again the unbelievable pause in between the seasons that it's like, I mean, hell, by the time I got to the next season, I'd kind of forgotten the question until I saw the answer.
Yeah, and also one thing as we said, season 2 had a much slower pace. It didn't start off like in a very fast pace like season 1 did, but that doesn't mean to say it was bad. It was actually well told. It was more dealing with the characters and so. And also, I remember the animation was just gorgeous. I was enamored by season 2. So every scene was beautiful. It was literally just one mission, if I'm not mistaken, just trying to get to that wall, and I think it was to close it up, right?
Oh yeah, because Titans appeared in the inner wall, so they thought, oh yes, oh crap, the Titans have like pierced the fucking wall, so they're trying to like scan the yeah, man, yeah.
Sorry, that's my train of thought.
but no, I know what you mean. You did think it was good as well. Something I thought was interesting was because like we haven't talked. This was the Beast Titan. Me, he was like the most intriguing shit in the world to me.
Yeah, because even then, like at this point where like the other Titans and that there are like humans who can turn into Titans. We ain't never seen this guy before.
Yeah.
This is just straight up a new character who's also evil. Who the hell is this guy? And he has powers that are like the turning other people into Titans. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, I thought it was so well because I remember like
and then he talked. That was the biggest thing. He talked.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Talk. Yeah, because I remember when that blonde dude before he killed, he talked to him like, hello? That's weird. I thought we must speak the same language or some shit. And this guy's like, this Titan fucking talking to me? What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
I was shook.
I guess I should have mentioned this earlier. This is like, there's like an OVA, or it's like a manga chapter or something that explains why Hanji is how she is. The OVA is called like Ilsa's Notebook or something like that. Hanji basically finds a notebook of a Survey Corps member who died. This person was like a compulsive note taker, and they took notes of everything while on a mission, and they found a Titan that talked to them and then killed and ate them and wrote the entire experience down. And then Hanji read that and she was like, I need answers.
I remember right, because back in season 1 as well, like when Hanji met Eren, because she was so intrigued, like, wow, Eren, you can turn into a Titan. She was like so happy. I remember she explained like, I used to hate Titans too, but then I realized Titans' bodies were light for some reason, which was weird and all this shit. And,
to this day, I remember the names she gave to those two Titans they captured, Sunny and Dean.
Oh yeah, that's right. And she was, man, I feel she's not even like that anymore. Like thinking like season 3 and like the manga and shit.
She got the answers. She got the answers. She's good now.
She's more for normal person now. Like,
she satisfied it. That was all she needed to know.
Shit. And how she was so fun loving the Titans and she was a fucking weirdo and shit. And yeah, I think we got the point across on her. So I guess we can talk about what else is there in season 2 to talk about.
I feel like I really do want to touch on the reveal. I think that was a big plot twist this season. Bertholdt and Reiner as the Armored Titan and the Colossal Titan. And also about Ymir. What do you guys feel about that?
Okay, actually, let me take the ground on this one. I was like kind of surprised. 'Cause I remember the situation. It was like everyone was like stuck on that weird castle-like thing. They didn't have the survey. I mean, they didn't have their like 3D maneuver gear. So I was like, what are we gonna do? And like, I forget the conversation that Ymir had with like Krista at the it's Krista quotation marks at the time. But like when she turned into like a Titan shifter and started doing shit, I was like, I didn't have like a whole like holy shit reaction. I was like, what? Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I kind of liked it, but I wasn't like a crazy amount of like hype or like this amount. I'm just more so like it happened. But you know, great stuff's been happening at this point though. So I was like,
that was just kind of like out of nowhere because that wasn't even remotely hinted in any way.
What do you guys say it felt
does make
forced though? Because I wouldn't say that, but if you guys said it, I would understand. You guys say it felt forced, like too random.
Oh, I wouldn't say forced. I just feel like it was just kind of like completely out of the blue.
Yeah, it was kind of like out of left field.
They did like zero foreshadowing for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the reason
and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, because the Jaw Titan was never really established before. So we just found out that, she can turn into a Titan too. But it was not like I don't think we were really introduced to that particular Titan that much before. So it being a surprise, no one saw it coming. No one was expecting something like this. So it did come out of nowhere. I don't have any problem with that. I just thought it was fine.
The only I thought was odd was how was it called? Actually, I know you said Jaw Titan. I've been thinking that as well. Was it not originally called the Dancing Titan? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, it was actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Rainer Burlot referred to it as the Dancing Titan.
Or like,
was this a manga thing or was this in the actual anime?
Oh no, this was in the anime too.
Yeah,
really?
Cause I remember,
that must have completely gone over my head.
Yeah, because I remember in the soon-to-be season 4, they say yes, the Jaw Titan. I'm just like did it even?
Well, because Jaw Titan makes more sense. That's what it kind of does. It bites people.
Well, did Ymir's Titan like have like a jaw like that though?
So it didn't have the jaw like the one that you're thinking of, but it did exclusively bite people.
That is true.
It had like goblin teeth. It had like golem teeth.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember. I looked it up right now. Ymir had a big fucking stupid head, like a small body, stupid, ugly,
tiny little body. Yeah.
Dumb as shit. I love it though. But yeah, I guess that was fair. Oh, one thing I did like though in that scene was the ones without the 3D maneuver gear. They're like the people that just like graduated from like the academy, the 104th squad or whatever, blah blah blah, Aaron's group or whatever. They didn't have equipment, but like, they had some older people with them that did. And I remember, I think they were fighting, and weren't they winning? But then like the Beast Titan from like so far away, wouldn't he throwing like rocks and shit to like kill them? Which is why they lost. Isn't that how they lost that fight?
He threw. Yeah. He threw.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, no. I think he threw the horse.
Oh yeah.
He threw. That was the horse. That was the horse projectile. Yeah.
This nigga plays baseball. You know he plays baseball.
Nani? He took my horse.
Yeah, but I thought it was sad. Cause I remember like I think it was a blonde dude or whatever. There's a lot of blonde dudes. I remember he was kind of like, damn, I'm gonna die. It's sad. At least I'll have this drink. And then it was empty because I think it was like Jean or somebody like drank it like the night before. It's like, what a cruel world this is to die without alcohol.
Oh wait, no. They used Krista used the alcohol to clean Rainer's wound because of the little shitter Titan that bit him.
Yo, hold on a second. How did Reiner have a wound if he's a Titan shifter?
They can control.
No, this was like before they revealed that they were the Titan shifters.
Yeah. Also, like they can.
Yeah, but like, don't they have like? Oh, well, I guess they. Oh, yeah, because Aaron. There's a part where Aaron. Yeah. So I guess they can
control
when
they
like choose when they heal and when
they.
Yeah, they can control it.
Yeah, I know, but also
like with when Annie when she fixed the left eye to get them.
Yeah, I know,
again,
but also you should probably consider. Don't you think it'd be weird if Rainer's comrades just suddenly realize his wound is healing, something's up?
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I thought that would have been a plot hole. Like, why weren't his wounds? But then I realized, like, oh yeah, they can't actually do that.
Yeah, like
they can manipulate the healing ability. I forgot.
Something I want to say though, like real shit. I really did think Rainer was a real one. So I remember what he was gonna do because it was like a 4-meter tide or something like that. It bit his arm hard as shit, and he was planning. I'm pretty sure he was planning to jump out the window with that Titan.
Yes,
yeah.
Like, because if he did that, I think his plan would have been uber fucked up. Because like, if he comes back alive, it'd be mad suspicious if he didn't die. Because I don't think he would have died. But like, you could just tell at that moment, or at least the Bible to me that like he was thinking more about like, how am I gonna protect my friends as a soldier? I thought it was some cool shit that Rainer did.
Yeah, I actually really like that bit that Bertold was saying about like after they kidnapped Aaron, where he's like he's more of a soldier now, but he used to be a warrior.
Yeah.
Like I really like that where Bertolt just kind of like as a result of losing their mate who was supposed to be a leader when they first got there, just kind of changed mentally. Something broke in him, I guess.
Oh yeah, I remember that because like it was hard for him. Like even in fucking Almost Word. Yep.
Actually, can you imagine how fucked up that is? Actually,
no, it's super fucked up.
No, it's like Rainer and Burlot. They're the sole reason why everyone in Paradise Island is in a shitty situation. They're the reason why they lost Wall Rosa. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they have to live with the people that they fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And they
And
befriended
I,
them
I,
too.
I remember seeing a post of this. They're literally the bombers of Hiroshima and Nagasaki almost, except they have to actually live with the people that they affected.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I actually kind of
Yeah,
like.
for real.
I think I
I
like
do-
Bertholdt's response though. Do you guys remember? Because remember I brought up a bit earlier when he like Aaron's like on Berthold, the kick you threw like put some debris on my mother and she could die because of that. When I told you that, how did you feel? Did you feel guilty? And he just said, I felt sorry for you. Because you can tell they're humans too. Like, a writer obviously like more
Yeah.
trouble, but like, damn, it's like, it's a fucked up thing that like war has you do. Try to villainize the enemy as much as you can. But I think like, I wonder if like actual veterans go through this as well. Like, they don't even hate the people they're killing. So they feel literal guilt over killing them. Just they understand that we're on different sides of the war. Yeah, I know. I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I thought this show did a very good job at establishing that, because you also see Ryan, for me, right, going into this thing. Like I said, I did not see this surprise coming. I did not see the plot twist coming. Right, I really liked Ryan. I really liked Ryan and Bertold. I thought they were good guys, and they were good friends and reliable and all that stuff. But you see this weird like moments where Ryan is sort of feeling conflicted and everything, right? That you sort of later on you catch on. If in perspective, when you realize what he did and now what he has to live through in order to complete his mission, the one part I really want to get at, the reveal. Normally you have this big epic reveal. In this, he was having a mental breakdown. He nearly died several times. He just went through shit. He's like, that's it. I'm done. Listen, I just gotta tell you, I'm the Armored Titan. This is the Colossal
He's the
Titan.
Colossal Titan.
Can you just join with us?
Yeah,
I'm
real.
done with this. Like, can you
Yeah.
please just
Are we
join with
doing
us?
this
Like,
now?
we need to get out
Right
of
here, right now?
Wait,
It's like the Scooby Doo monster just took off his own
Yeah.
mask and like,
it's
listen,
like, me, nigga.
listen, just abandon
it's
the
me.
water park. I want to buy
did
it.
that
Exactly.
shit.
But
I
he-
did that shit.
They just like the most casually say it. But freaking Aaron's like, you're joking, right? Stop pissing around, man. Come on. Like, we have like most shit to do. And then he just keeps going into it. I remember first hearing that, I'm like, what are you talking about? And just keep going.
What I remember, was it Mikasa who immediately went for the throat when that happened?
It was
Yeah.
building up to it. He kept talking about nonsense, like what appeared to be nonsense and everything, talking about like, his current situation, about being a warrior, a soldier,
Well-
this and that, all that stuff.
Well,
and
actually, I think I remembered a bit more clearly because I remember like people like the Survey Corps. I think they had an idea that Bertholdt and Rainer were possibly Titans because I think they checked the records to see everyone who like lived or something, or they did a background check on like on the troops after like Annie died, and they found there was no actual paperwork for Annie or for Bertholdt and Rainer. So I think they're suspicious of them. That's why I think so. When they told Aaron, I'm pretty sure Aaron already knew. He knew that it wasn't the right time to get into the conflict with them.
he didn't believe it, if I'm remembering.
I think he didn't want to believe it. The same way he didn't want to believe it was Annie.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because he just spent years and years training with these people,
Yeah.
like growing. Annie fucking taught him how to fight.
Yeah,
how to
all
fight.
this shit.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah, because remember when he's fighting Rainer, it's like, you guys made a mistake. You taught me how to fight. It's like, yeah, Aaron.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
I actually did. I did like how Rainer, you must be tired. Let's go. Rainer, like, because he starts losing his mind. I remember like that's when he starts using his like Tide Shifter ability to like start healing his arm.
Yeah.
His steam starts coming out. Then Mikasa's like, I swear she like slices their arm and like with their ear.
Yeah,
as
that's
it
what I'm saying.
grabs-
She goes for the neck. I think she lodges it like in one of their neck, but doesn't manage
Yeah.
to stop the transformation.
Yeah, and then like,
I
she
think-
grabs Aaron and then runs. I thought the panel because I read ahead and then I watched the season after. It was I thought the paneling like when Berthold and like Rainer transformed because you saw like the two giant Titan heads and almost like they were screaming and shit as they transformed. You're like I thought it was pretty good.
That freaking moment when they do transfer. I love how they just gave the reveal and then like slowly build on it by talking about it. Then all the clues are slowly kicking in. And then you can see Mikasa's ready for it. The others were kind of expecting to because they had that suspicion. And Aaron's disbelief and shock and like the sense of betrayal slowly setting in on him. And then finally Mikasa reacts. And I believe later on they said that she hesitated. She could have gone for the kill, but she hesitated too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
I'd be
couldn't instantly go for the kill because they were her friends too. There was that moment, second of doubt, even though it was obviously clear she just couldn't do it. Then the freaking reveal happens. I mean, like the way they animated it, the music, the everything, it was just so badass. And then like the way it ended and Aaron just fully realizing what happened and what they've done and everything. And then it goes in, he turns into his, Titan, and it ends in that, that shot where he's going after the attack Titan, and man, I loved it. Oh my god.
Wait. You know what that was hilarious
It was pretty
though?
good.
Well, that was completely hilarious. Because I remember like after they both transform, I think I don't remember too well, but I think like Reiner and Eren are fighting in Titan form, and like everyone's trying to deal with the Colossal Titans. Looking at him right now, he's not moving that fast. We should kill him easily. And they were like, fuck all this steam, goddamn, they couldn't. Because I remember like how they got away. Because they did end up like fleeing. Was it?
He just dropped on him, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He used all the fucking his steam, and he knocked everybody off. What was it 5 hours? And they took Eren. Everyone was knocked out for like 5 hours with all the steam. I'd be like, wow. I thought it was like the biggest lull moment. I can't believe. Like, I don't want to take the plot because it's not, but I just thought it was hilarious. Like, what happened? You've been out cold for 5 hours. Because just like, what the fuck? Because she wants to save Eren because she wants to fuck him and all this shit, which I want to talk about more. But I thought something. How do you guys feel about the ship of Krista and Ymir?
Wait, relationship?
Yeah. It was kind of implied that there was something romantic going on between the two.
Yeah. Oh, because I think the mangaka said that like they are gay. Not to say like they weren't like girlfriends or anything like that, but like they had romantic homosexual interest in one another.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I thought it was a one-way. Like I thought that Ymir was interested in Krista, but Krista just looked at her like a big sister type of thing. Or was it mutual?
I'm pretty sure it's mutual. Because the thing is like we don't ever get it clearly defined. All we know is that they have very clear adoration for each other, and we know specifically that Ymir like because we found out later like her note to Krista is my only regret is that I couldn't stay and marry you. But like I'm pretty sure like the mangaka revealed that Krista had like feelings for her as well, but they like never did anything.
Yeah.
Could Krista have been bi? Because I mean, this makes that scene where the whole part of this gets to later on, but
no, I mean I don't think so because like I mean I know what you mean, but I mean she could be bi or gay, but I feel like it's not surprising to me because like if you've seen it on TV shows, how many TV shows where like it's someone who's gay who's been gay for like so long, it's like I had sex with like women even though I'm a gay guy just to fool myself into thinking of shit, but like the way it's described, so we'll talk about it a bit later, but the way it's described in the manga, it wasn't necessarily in my eyes. It didn't seem like it was about love. It just seemed
you're
like
right about that. In fact, see the newest manga touched on it. I'm such an idiot. They just explained it. Yeah, no, her real reasons for getting pregnant was not love at all. It was I don't want to talk about that bit because it is manga territory. So
later
we'll
on,
talk about that.
we'll touch on it. Don't
later on. We're going season by season. And
season 2. I think I think we have the one thing to one. Oh no, a few things stuff on season 2 because I remember like man, I was sad. I was sad when when Hans died. It's like Eren, it's the time they killed your mother. I'll avenge her. Tigger got fucked.
Yeah.
I was like, my nigga Hans, no. Like I wanted him to survive, but also well, what was cool? I thought it was interesting how I mean like when Eren punched like that Titan and all the Titans started lunging, I'm like this is interesting, but at the same time I'm like I was like weirded out like what the fuck. Not to say it was bad, but it was like what?
That's another one of those little things that Attack on Titan is so good at. They throw these little plot moments that are so weird, so out of the blue. You're like, what the heck is that? It came out of nowhere, but that later adds on. Like I think Saul said it best. You have these weird moments that happen. You can see it connects somehow, and you can thread the needle, and it perfectly lines up to make the story. Because that bit plays a huge role later on. But I can't say it, but it does. Like, but it's a big hint to something.
Because that's the crazy of the mystery without answering any questions. But I thought what was interesting to me was because shit, I guess we never even got to learn about this. Because I remember like it was like Raider was fighting. I swear Raider was fighting off like all these Titans, and Bertholdt couldn't transform for whatever reason. Like he may have used it up already or something like that. He's fighting off all these Titans, and it looks like they're gonna die. I remember like I think it was like Ymir in her Titan form was like touched Crystal, like patted her, that like did some form of physical contact, and then looked at her because they were all gonna get away. But I remember Ymir left because the Survey Corps, they were like trying to get her from the Titans. But Ymir left to like save Bertholdt and Reiner. I thought, wow, I didn't see that coming. And later in like her letter in like another season, she kind of admitted that like she didn't think that she'd pick them over Krista either. So I thought it was a very interesting thing for Ymir's character, which like I'm not sure if they explained it or like.
I will be honest, I don't think they ever explained it. Am I remembering wrong?
No, I think you're right because like from my understanding,
they did not explain Ymir's reasons for going with Reiner and Bertolt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there was a point where
I think they only explained it like very like briefly, because I think after it was done they talked like, Ymir, why would you do this? I don't know. If I had to assume, it's probably like some guilt, because I remember like Ymir, for reasons which we don't know yet, pretty much she ate and killed their friend or something like that like a while ago. So maybe she felt a bit of guilt over that.
Yeah,
or,
but
like,
why give a shit? I mean, she should.
Oh,
know.
actually,
Here's the
she
thing.
should.
Yeah.
I think I understand a bit, because from my understanding, Ymir is Eldian too from like 100 years ago, because she was a Titan for like 100 years. If I had to assume why she helped them, and because they don't explain this, but I think I could piece it together, it's more so like she understands their struggle that they go through. Like they're Eldians, they're not, because like the Marlians treat them like shit, which comes to the whole other thing.
But isn't her priority Krista at all times?
Yeah.
So like, doesn't that kind of violate like?
You're right.
No,
So
I don't think it violates that, just because she obviously, because she knew that Krista was gonna go out and try and be safe, and she loves Krista, but I felt like at the same time Krista was heading off to safety, and these guys were gonna die right here and now. Because at the end of the day, like they are, because they have the relation of Eldians, and they know how the outside world works. So it's like, because and Ymir's not really like the selfish type, so I could see her giving her life for this kind of thing.
And I guess that at that point it was all. Was it already known at that point that she was the Titan, a Titan shifter as well?
Yeah, it was.
So then at that point it's like there's no way she could have stayed with Krista. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, okay, actually, I have to counter that. So here's the thing. I did a quick Google check, right, just to give myself a reminder. Why did she leave? It says that she felt she owed Bert and Reiner, because if they hadn't come to paradise, she would still be wandering as a mindless Titan. Besides, she'd eaten their friend.
She ate their friend, yeah.
So maybe she felt indebted. Reiner promised to care for Historia. Ymir felt in her heart that all the world is likely doomed. But here's the thing. Now, this might make sense at the time. With the information we learn in season 4, I don't agree with this. I don't think this makes sense, because
it's a bit iffy.
We'll get to that a bit later, but I want to put a pin on it, so when we do get to the manga, we can talk about it a bit more, because I think these motives don't add up with the information we get later on. But hey, it could be argued both ways, but I have a case for this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to argue against you, but we'll find that a bit later.
Yeah.
But I think for right now, I think we're pretty much done on season 2. And I feel like we had some. Oh no, just the last thing. I keep saying last thing, but I remember something. Because I remember there's the scene, because I remember this is like the scene like when Connie and like Sasha's hometowns were nearby, so they went to go check it out. And I remember like Sasha saved this little blonde girl whose mother was eating because she had bad legs. And I remember like I like the scene with Connie, because Connie pretty much like sees a Titan on his house, and everyone's missing. Like, where's my family? And it's like, this Titan looks like my mother. And I swear the Titan, Connie's mom called his name, and Connie's like, and Reiner's like, no, Connie, it didn't call your name, but I swear, Connie, I'm Reiner, I'm your bro.
Yeah.
Believe me, you're imagining shit.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know at the time, but now that we know, that shit was like, goddamn, Reiner.
Yeah.
actually,
Reiner actually kind of being a bro there.
Oh wait, no, because I remember like there's probably like a whole other psychological aspect of like when Reiner and Bertolt realized that like the Beast Titan was around, they knew instantly like, holy shit, it's fucking what's his face? So they probably felt like something psychologically as well, knowing he was there. But like, yeah, we can talk about it a bit later.
One of the funniest things to me is that scene at the end where like Reiner just gets his shit rocked by the Beast Titan. Where we don't even see the fight, we just see Reiner like ass up on the ground.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, it actually happens in them. That's the end of the first part of season 3. But it's because we're in season 3 now. This season took an interesting turn. Pretty much seasons 1 and 2, the enemy has been, we're gonna fight the Titans. Even after finding out the Titans are humans that turn into Titans as well, the focus has always been, okay, let's fight the Titans. The first half of season 3, it takes a break from that now, because we're not fighting Titans at all. We're fighting humans
it's
within the
PvP
wall.
time.
Yeah, PvP. Because even in the manga, I thought it was sick as fuck. That scene when Levi took on 12 of the people with the air gear and the guns, that shit was
was
fire as
amazing.
fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Jesus
Like Levi's just an advanced human being, but like I remember that shot. People meme that shot when like when he went into the bar, he landed like vertically because he came in so fast. I remember like people were memeing the fucking bartender, like, oh my god, like he had his hands up and I don't know. Levi did this shit because like he was in such a bad situation. Like I don't even remember that fight too well right now. I just remember thinking that shit was lame. Like,
Yeah.
holy fuck.
Well, actually, to connect on something you mentioned about Levi earlier, right? The whole reason that he gets that crazy is because his allies get immediately murked by
Oh
Kenny.
shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Like all of his allies just get immediately shut down by Kenny's men, and then Levi just goes apeshit, and it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I swear he loses like the most underlings. We didn't talk about them at all, but remember like Petra, the girl who people shipped with Levi, then she died like episodes later because Annie murked them all. Because I remember that scene of like Petra's dad trying to like, it's like, oh, Levi, where's Petra? She must be good. I'm like, Levi doesn't respond. We just see him with the look of death in his eyes. Like, god damn, Levi loses too many goddamn comrades. But yeah, man, Levi. I see why he's like the favorite character.
I remember there was that moment when they were running away from the Titans and they thought, we have to get rid of the bodies. This thing is dead weight. And Levi hesitated, and for a moment he looked back and you can see him dumping the body to get away. And if I'm not mistaken, did the dad say, do you at least have her body or some shit like that?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
Wait, he did?
I think he did.
No, because from what I remember, it ended when he was asking Levi, because I don't even think we get Levi. Did he respond to the dad? Because I thought the scene cut off.
No, I believe he did ask for the... He'd ask the body, didn't he?
If you guys remember, then I don't remember either way.
He did.
It's been too long. It's been like 4 years. Yeah.
It's been like
It's been a
5
hot
years
minute.
ago.
Yeah, but I remember like
been a while.
I remember season 2 started like who was the main enemy was like Levi, fucking Kenny the Ripper. We found out a bit more of like Levi's backstory.
Kenny.
Because I also read like Levi's like quick spin-off and shit. I thought like, man, it was dope seeing someone from like Levi's past. Not to say like Levi was a mysterious character, but we didn't know much about his past at all. Because like
Kenny is awesome. I love Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny's pretty dope. Like, what the fuck was happening? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because one scene, and this happens a bit further into the season, was when they find like the two people like who guard the garrison. Like they have the rose symbol of them, and like they because
the military police.
Yeah, because
right?
like the scouts had pretty much been paid to like, oh, we're criminals at the hide. And I remember they got those two from the military police. I remember Jean really believed in that dude. I think this guy's really good. And I remember that whole scene because I was reading it because that's when I was caught up with Attack on Titan at the time. I was reading like monthly, and like Jean just testing him. I feel like, oh, that's good shit, Jean. Because I don't know, I like Jean like shitty, but I like how cool he is at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they really built John back up, and like the whole bit where he like pretended to be Aaron too for a while.
Yeah.
Like, John really like building himself back up here from what he was.
Yeah. Or like we can call him Gene if you can only read subtitles. You like Gene, but it's like I also like
Gene
because I forget like how like smart he is. I remember in the second, we'll talk about the second half a bit later. Like I remember in the second half of this season, like Armin is supposed to be giving orders, but he said, "Yo, Jean, could you take over? I don't know what to do." So I forgot like how even just like smart he is because he's such a fucking dickhead all the time. And I don't want to respect dickheads, but like because I remember like when we found out that Jean was joining the Survey Corps, Aaron was shocked as shit to see him there. And I remember like him talking about you can't even control your power. You may fucking hurt Mikasa. And I remember Mikasa, who Jean has a crush on, even though I haven't talked about this in like fucking 5 or 10 years, but he did at the time. I remember like him saying like Mikasa tried to defend Aaron and his time ability. Mikasa, how do you get that scar on your cheek? Wasn't it because of fucking Aaron? I just feel like he's got a sharp tongue too. I thought Jean was cool for that. Apart from that, like what else is it talking this? With the reveal of like Historia Reese, Krista is off the main bloodline of family. How do you guys feel about that? I don't have too much to say, but what do you guys feel about that?
I think it was really well handled. I think it made a bit of sense as to why the Creeds were protecting her. I think they gave a good explanation.
Yeah.
I felt like for me, it made more sense later on when you understood the context of why the royal family is the way it is, what's the significance of the bloodline. When you look into those aspects, it made more sense. But I feel like when I first saw it and I was first getting it, once again, it was one of those things, I get it, but I don't. Like, you're explaining things to me, like, I'm finally understanding what you're doing here, but I don't know why.
I think I'm gonna cut in on that a bit. There's something that like didn't make sense to me, but okay, it's one of those things like it didn't make sense to the characters either. So like, okay, it makes sense because they're confused too. But like, it makes sense to me was like because remember when Aaron was in that room, Historia's dad. Oh, just from that, I switched the call from Krista from Historia, just like that. We found that Aaron's dad killed my fucking tried to kill. Oh, now I was the one who escaped.
But you're talking about Historia, right?
Sister, actually.
It was her sister, yeah.
Was that a sister he killed?
The
sister who had the founding Titan powers at the time.
Yeah, her sister who had the founding Titan.
Yeah, but to me, what was weird, and I'm glad like trying to say Historia, you have to eat Aaron so you could get the founding titan and all. But what was weird to me is like the dad was so transparent, it was odd because he's saying like, oh yeah, so the problem is like me and my brother would constantly beg my dad, who had the founding titan at the time, please dad, like free the people of the wall, but like the will of the king would stop them from doing that. What was weird, and Historia realized this too, is like, dad, if what you're saying is true, if I just eat Aaron, I'll be just like your dad, like your brother and sister and all this shit, because I'm not gonna want to do anything. So why are you having me do this shit? And I don't think he ever gave a good answer, because like it wasn't even like evil. It just didn't make sense.
These are the things. You're right. It doesn't make sense. But
well, at that point, I feel like they're just that family is like. I mean, granted, they're quote unquote the royal family. They're kind of just following orders at that point, aren't they? No. Pass down the founding titan within your bloodline. That's about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what he was. I guess like,
and you know,
and then whoever had the founding titan was the king, and they said, okay, your next mission is to pass down the founding titan.
That's it.
Which is the same as the previous mission.
I guess just thinking mad
also,
basic.
given-
But like,
I mean,
also, this is
given
what
the
I guess that's
fact
another thing
that,
that hasn't been revealed quite yet.
No,
I
no,
guess
no,
like
they
that
did.
why
They
the
did.
king,
like a
They did.
limited,
like why the king wants to decide.
lifespan.
They did. They actually did explain it. That's
So
the
there's
thing.
that too.
These are the things that I feel like the show did really good. Once again, if they give you a big plot moment that doesn't make sense, they explain something, and you have several more questions after. But once again, these are anime fans won't get it now. But I'm telling you, when season 4 starts, they answer all this stuff, and you're like, holy shit! Because it's not like this has been happening in season 1, then season 2, then season 3, and then everything is all connected to
comes
tell
full
the
circle.
larger
It comes full
story.
circle.
Side note: do we know how many episodes the next season's
A
gonna
lot.
be?
It's gonna be a lot.
Well, actually, yeah, think about that, because I remember it said Attack on Titan the final season. In my mind...
Yeah, it's final season, so it's got to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no,
because here's the
'cause,
thing
like,
though. What happens is
they have a lot to
there's
do.
130 chapters in the manga right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, season 3, part 2 ends at like chapter 90 or chapter 91.
Yeah.
So that's like 39 chapters. And Attack on Titan, remember, it's not a weekly manga. It's like month. These chapters are long
Yeah.
as fuck. Like in my mind,
Yeah.
I'm like, this should be a fucking 50 episode season or some shit. I don't know,
Yeah,
like
I think they're
39
gonna do
last a
episodes.
part
while.
1 and part. I can already.
Well, they said final season. I feel like they're just gonna finish
Well, that's
it.
the
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
season 3 was part 1 and part. I
Yeah,
feel
that's true.
like,
But
So
that was a total.
granted-
That was only a total of 22 episodes, though. I feel like season 4, the final season, is gonna need more than 22 episodes. Okay, like Otto, like you're all the
Probably.
way caught up right now. How many chapters do you feel like it is before the Attack on Titan ends, or you're still not sure?
No,
Do you
there's
feel like
gonna be a. I mean, I don't know. Like, it depends on how abruptly they're gonna end it. We're in the climax. That's the
okay,
thing.
the climax.
So if you're in the climax in the manga, and this is the newest chapter, and how can this is gonna be like at least 40 episodes until we get to the climax? This is a long season. This is
yeah,
a
but, I was
long.
surprised.
It must
Like, when I heard like it's gonna be the
Ah.
final. When I heard it was gonna be the final season, I'm like, okay, that's it. But then like
The
when that,
trailer said final
Yeah,
season.
it is.
yeah, it did
Yeah,
say
it
final
did.
season. That's crazy because in my mind, like literally like in parts. But fuck, yeah.
One thing actually, like in terms of, because that's a bit daunting in terms of pacing, but one thing I will say is like, one thing that I really praise this season, like season 3 for having done, is that they got the entire internal political struggle done
Yeah.
Oh,
in the space of like
12 episodes.
yeah, in the time they had,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
they could have.
Drag that
That
shit
was a
out.
lot of chapters. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
could have taken
well,
a lot of time and
More-
drawn that shit out. In particular, like the crowning moment I was waiting for was the coup d'état, and I was like, that was a few episodes. There was a lot of words there, and I wanted to see if they were gonna drag it out a few episodes or if they were gonna like breakneck pace and miss something. But I feel like they actually did it perfectly.
Mm.
They did the coup d'état in a single episode, and they captured everything they needed to in that single episode, and I think it was fantastic.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of like manga purists, they want their anime to be like exactly like how it was in the manga, which is like it's fair. But I feel like sometimes there's some stuff you can always cut or like you like change the pacing. I feel like
Sometimes it's not possible. It's a different medium.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like I heard stuff
Like a manga is not time constrained. Like I've seen manga panels that are closer to a novel where it's paragraphs inside panels.
Yeah, that's true.
But that shit just doesn't translate to animation.
yeah, it's true. Like I remember
Yeah.
there's even like let's watch One Piece right now. It's
Yes.
slowish. Okay, I don't want to say the fight, but like, do you remember the fight that Luffy had with a very certain particular someone when he first got to Wano?
Oh, you mean the one that ended very quickly in that? Oh.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
one chapter in the manga, and it was the entire episode in the anime. It
Yeah.
sucked so much shit in the anime, just because remember that chapter in the manga was just pages of like not too much dialogue and the fight, and it was done. However, in the anime, they took that one chapter and spread it to the entire episode, and it just didn't work. I understand why they did it because of there's always that fear there with like adaptation, so it's like good that with Attack on Titan that like possibly shorten a bit, but still get all the good stuff involved. Like not
I don't,
like
think,
the
I don't
manga
think,
did it
I don't think
better.
Attack on Titan's gonna make that same mistake because a worse example of it will be Luffy versus Katakuri. That was literally
Oh my
6 or
God.
so months
Oh my
of non-stop fighting, and it was the same shit until the very last episode when it really got good and then ended it.
Because I heard like at first people didn't like the fact that later just like got like, yo, this shit got fired, but like
Yeah.
that's not about One Piece and its whack pacing.
The manga was slow.
Yeah, I was gonna say One Piece is not a show that's really trying to keep a pace.
No,
Yeah.
like it
But
used
we're
to,
off
but
tag, we're off
like
topic.
okay.
I'll shit on One Piece later.
Yeah, man. Wait, guys.
Okay.
Real shit though.
You're going
Real
for
shit,
my
though.
second favorite
Real
choice.
shit though. Real shit though. Yo, y'all smash Mikasa?
Oh yeah. I do want
She's
to get.
16, Otto. She's
Oh,
16.
my
Got
bad.
your
I'm
ass.
so sorry. I'm caught up, guys. Okay, it's time has passed. She's older now. I think.
got it.
I
Got the
think-
time skip
Let me
strat.
Yeah,
check.
it's probably, like she's 21 now. I swear it's been like 4 years or 5 years. She's like 20 or 21. All right, Otto, you got away this time.
I survived.
This time.
Today is not the day I get cancelled. Y'all ain't getting me that easy. Just don't follow me on Facebook.
That'll be tomorrow.
For sure,
No,
man.
I do want to get to one point. What did you guys think about the explanations to the Ackerman? Because that was mentioned in season 3.
The Ackermans, like, I thought it was a bit confusing, but from what I understand, the Ackermans, fuck, this confused me, because, like, aren't they also Oriental, but they're also, like, a bit of the bloodline? Yeah, because they're, like, a diversion of, like, the main bloodline of the family, so that's why they're not affected by the Titan
No,
power.
hold on. I thought because Mikasa and Levi not being affected was because of the Ackerman bloodline, isn't it? That's completely different to the Asians.
Well, so apparently
wait,
That's a completely
the
different
Ackermans not
thing.
Orientals?
Yeah, but that's the thing.
No,
It's like,
the Ackermans are like Levi and Mikasa and Kenny are all Ackermans, but that has nothing to do with the Asian bloodline.
Wait.
Mikasa
She just happens to be an
Oh, it's
Oriental
only because, sorry,
Ackerman.
I thought Levi was like half Asian too or some shit, but it's just Mikasa that's
Yeah,
Asian.
Mikasa just
It's
happens
just
to be
Mikasa.
an Oriental Ackerman, is what I'm getting.
Just happens to be.
But it's interesting because like people always talk about this. I don't want to say like the whole you're special because of your bloodline thing or the chosen party that's been used. Where it's interesting because I actually agree with this show for one thing because there are badasses in this show, a lot of badass. But I think we can all agree that Levi and Mikasa were far more badass to a level defied the logic of the show. And
I don't say defied the logic, but
no,
I know what you mean.
I mean, like, what I mean by defy the logic, I'm talking about, based on season 1 and 2, we don't know about the bloodline, this and that. These guys are just so far and above and beyond. Like, Levi versus the Beast Titan, a perfect example. No other human being would have been able to do that. Like, I don't. Let's just be real. Commander Irvin couldn't do that. Eren, normal human form, can't do that.
Mikasa might be, but I know what you mean. Because I remember, like, you guys remember, like, for like the commercial breaks for like Attack on Titan, we watch on TV, they'd say like information available for public disclosures. I remember like reading that kind of stuff.
Every single time I pause and I read.
Yeah, man. I remember one of them was saying that talking about Mikasa, because she used to be the valedictorian of her class, the first to like the number one graduate. They said like Mikasa was, they said potentially the most amazing soldier that had come through the entire training. Because remember, Levi didn't go through the training corps, which you know his origin, but Mikasa did. So that's why she was the most amazing, because she was far above like everybody else. So
exactly. So you're right about that. And keep in mind, people like Annie were extremely highly trained soldiers, and she was extremely gifted from her own right. Now that was just her natural talent and abilities that we learned later on. That well,
also she was trained. Like she would have been trained before.
That's the thing. She was well trained. Whatever the hell she
They were
did.
soldiers before they got there.
Exactly. And even then, she came number 2 to Mikasa.
Oh, no, she was 4. Now I'm looking at it now, and it's like Annie was 4, Berthold was 3, Ryder was 2. So yeah, the 3 like infiltrators, the trade soldiers, they still all paled in comparison to Mikasa.
That's a key thing. And also one more thing. That's why I feel like maybe the Ackerman explanation is fitting here, and also it does play into that larger narrative, like the whole plot as to what is going on, what is the whole relationship between the Titans, what are the different types of Titan. I don't want to say the word right now because that's a word, Eldian is what I'm trying to say, but that's mainly coming in season 4. These things do play on later into the story, but it's one of those things where you guys feel like this added to their characters, or do you feel like it took away?
I don't want to say it took away from them too much, because it's kind of like, I mean, like,
it's more like an explanation for it.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, there's always this thing with like there's always this thing with like
like a perfect parallel to it is like I'm currently rewatching Dragon Ball Z, and it's like, yes, the Super Saiyans are stronger than literally everyone else. Doesn't necessarily mean the basic humans are shit. Like Krillin is the strongest human alive, and he could take on some powerful aliens at the moment, but he clearly, like, the strongest human pales in comparison to the weakest Saiyan. But just by nature, it's in the DNA.
Exactly. And I think
it's in the blood.
Here's the thing, though. I do feel this way, because I'm not sure how much like sports anime you guys watch. You see like Kuroko no Basket, some of them, they make a huge deal in a lot of sports anime about like hard work and natural talents. Because they'll like sometimes, cause I remember this not as far what match was. There was this match in like Kuroko no Basket where like there's 2 people on the team. One of them was from like the Generation of Miracles, who was like the best players in Japan, and the other guy was pretty good. But there was made an argument saying that guy, even though he was a hard worker, he didn't have the talent to stand above people who had who were hard workers and had natural talent, because all he had was hard work. So
it's an insurmountable advantage.
Yeah. So I don't think it took away from the Ackermans. I mean,
right.
And explain why they were to be honest. Like I remember like when they first said like it's the Ackermans is what I heard about them. Like I was kind of like, yo, what the fuck? But at the same time, not really. It didn't matter. They're still the same characters.
Yeah.
We've known they've been
precisely.
Yeah, you're right about that. For me, I took it in a bit like initially I'm like, oh man, this is kind of iffy. But then later on, I'm like, you know what, man? There's so much about this story that I just don't get. I'm gonna just accept it and hope it adds on later on and just go on with it, right? So I wasn't upset by it. I just took it in again because like I just did not get how Levi and Mikasa were related somehow. Like the fact that they're the same name, that felt
the same last name.
Exactly. It was introduced then. It wasn't. I don't think it was ever mentioned earlier what Levi's last name was. Either that or I just wasn't paying attention.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
It was.
It was. So then that's just my fault.
No,
one thing I will say,
because like he had the same last name.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, because I'm confused because I saw this season 3 read like in preparation for this podcast. So I only originally read it though. I remember like because like I remember like that scene like when Kenny's like dying and shit, and he's talking to Levi. So I remember like they showed this scene when like Levi and Kenny like first met. You know, like because Kenny's going to see his sister, which is Levi's mom, and Levi says she's dead. Like, what's your name? And he's like, Kenny, just Kenny. He said, and like he specifically doesn't mention his last name, and Levi goes up that way.
Yeah, Kenny never told Levi they were related.
And I think at the end, like I think like because that's when Kenny does say to Levi, like, because I think Levi just like Ackerman. That must be your last name too. Because I remember like when he finds out Kenny's last name is Ackerman, he looks at Mikasa like, is that a relative of yours? Because like he doesn't know he's an Ackerman as well. So I think like it may have been a thing where like the manga people like may have spoiled it a bit for the anime people. If you go online to see their names, you'll see Levi Ackerman, even though it was never actually said it was. So I think that's like,
well, straight up, like, I mean, you mentioned earlier like stuff that they put in between the ad breaks, basically, in Attack on Titan. I know in the manga they literally have a page in between chapters that'll have a character profile. You know, blood type B, age 23, born August 7, Levi Ackerman. So the manga probably straight up said Levi Ackerman.
Okay, so that's
a long
right.
time ago. So it's definitely canon.
Okay.
But they just didn't say it like in the context of the show.
Okay, that makes sense.
That being said, though, we should probably move on to like the second half of like season 3 now. Unless you guys have like, because you know, the season 3, the second half being a fight. But like, is there any like closing thoughts for like all the stuff we learned in season 3 part 1?
But I felt like for me, season 3 part 1, it started off at a very high pace. I think that was with Kenny and Levi, right? And then it builds on to Reese's transformation and that freaking epic battle in the end and all that stuff. I felt like season 3 part 1 was very strong. I thought it was better than season 2, and I thought it was a bit more, it was short, so I don't want to compare it to season 1. Maybe like with both seasons I can part 1 and part 2 could be compared more to season 1. I thought it was very good.
It's definitely the best season so far.
Yeah, exactly, but I personally thought part 2 just took it to a whole different level.
Yeah, like I have a weird relationship with it because like I don't know, like because I read the manga first for like season 2, 3, and 4. The anime didn't hit as hard for me. Actually, that's a lie. The like season 3 did kind of hit that hard for me. But, like I thought it was cool, but to me like this wasn't what was cool about Attack on Titan. Like it was interesting, the political stuff, but I'm kind of glad they wrapped it up shortly because shit, nigga, I'm trying to kill some Titans. You know what I'm saying? That was interesting because I still say it was good, but I feel like it didn't like resonate with me as much as like I thought it was cool. It's hard for me to like rank it compared to the other seasons, though. I thought it was cool. It's good that it was paced the way it did, because if it went on for too long, we'd been like, oh man, I miss when they killed Titans. But then there's technically more of what was season 3 was that comes later in season 4. Oh my god, it's such a long thing to talk about.
The one thing I want to touch on before we leave this chapter, because I forgot this earlier when we were talking about Hange, I just want to touch on like part of her change of character. The way that they completely changed the character of the Wall Priest. It's been safe to assume that he was going to be just some side character, some asshole who was never going to say anything.
Oh yeah, Pastor Nick, right?
Pastor Nick, yeah. And then just got murderized. And then Hange just going on like a crusade for vengeance. And just playing those royal guards like fucking fiddles to get the answers that Nick was hiding. I think that was really masterful of turning a character who was just inherently an asshole who knew what you wanted to know but wouldn't tell you for a reason he won't even tell you.
Yeah.
And that you were supposed to not like him. And then you see how brutally he goes down. And then you suddenly have Hange avenging him. It just changes the way you think about him entirely. Or it did for me at least.
I think that's fair.
Are we sure that's the same pastor though? Because there was a different priest pastor.
That was Pastor Nick, because he was fucking dead. Hange wanted to talk to him more, and he was fucking dead.
No, I mean like, is Pastor Nick the one she threatened to throw off the wall?
Yes, it is.
Oh damn, that's him. Jeez, I always thought
they started off as straight enemies.
Yeah, because I remember the whole thing was after that, Pastor Nick said that he wanted to come out and see the carnage that the Titans are causing to see if he's gonna divulge information, and he came out and saw, and he did say it was terrible, but he said like, this isn't enough for me to tell you what is going on. But that's cool. But yeah, it's good to mention that up. So I guess now we can move on to
And then he died before he could spill his beans.
Yeah. But now we can talk about, oh shit, the part of the season that made people say Attack on Titan is the shit though. Because remember like when we were talking season 1, there's people overhyped, but also people saying it wasn't that good. Now I think everyone's on the same page now that Attack on Titan's fucking amazing. Season 3 part 2, when they want to reclaim Wall Road.
That was the shit.
Who wants to get started? Who wants to get started?
Jotaro.
Oh my god.
I wish I knew the rest of that line in Japanese. Well, I can't beat your ass from over here.
You're approaching me.
Okay, no,
I won't do this. Save it for a JoJo podcast.
Yeah.
The two-man podcast.
No, we're not ready for that. We're not ready for the but I'll get started on this one. I thought this was dope because I remember like it was very clear like after like because the season 3 part 1 ended with like okay, Historia Reese is now ruling the world. They killed we didn't talk about like her dad who turned into a Titan, and then she ended up killing him in front of everyone. She became like the queen of like, and it was cool. And we had more answers. Aaron had a lot to think about knowing about his dad and shit. And they finally want to get to the basement though. I thought this was just cool because like shit, man, the season was pretty much only just a fight. Like the plans to reclaim Rose. Because how exactly did Aaron get his hardening ability that Annie had? Because he ate.
No, it was in a.
Okay, hold up. Alright, so basically, when I meant by basement, I meant the raises.
Yeah. That's the thing, yeah.
Transferring founding Titan to their members.
They had several vials.
Had multiple vials. One of them had hardening on it. Aaron just took it.
Yeah, I just thought it was odd because, like, in my mind, what is the origin of that vial? Because, like, the hardening that Aaron does, isn't it, like, the same as Annie, almost?
Yeah.
Wait, because didn't they have the hardening ability where he could like turn himself into stone? Yeah, like the same way Annie did.
So I'm wondering myself like,
because I thought that was a unique ability to female Titan at first, but then it just turns out like no, they can all do it. So then what's she special? Oh, because she can summon Titans with a yell.
So
okay.
Well,
I found where her special shit is.
Speaking of which, also the Beast Titan is able to do that.
Just straight up control, but he also has the thing where he shouts and makes people transform.
Yeah, that's true. That's something.
I think the thing with the female Titan is when she shouts, she lures other Titans.
Whereas
remember,
with him,
like, because
he
like
transforms people.
Because I remember when they caught Annie,
I think
they almost ate her.
I think this is a manga thing, but I believe he says that it's people that he injects with his spinal fluid when he shouts they transform.
Or like they gas in the gas in the air. It's got a spinal fluid, which is like lets them do it off a yell. It wasn't that big a deal. There's something to more like Season 3 Part 2. I thought like
it was cool.
I think how the anime explained it is that they have the Titan powers, the Titan shifters powers. They can also be contained in a vial. The Titan like transformation could also be in a vial. Like Eren became a Titan because of his father's injection. We learn that the royal family also get injected.
I know.
Well, hold on, that was slightly different because the injecting with the vial turns you into a Titan. Eating a shifter turns you into a shifter.
Exactly, you're right. But the thing is that
hold on, what you're saying? They're saying
certain
like
abilities could also be contained in a vial as well, and it could be extracted.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because that's how Eren got the hardening, and it is like the vial, or like just that turns you into Titan. So I guess like it's not that far.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm just like, the fuck is this? Like, I felt like that they kind of just threw that in there. I guess it's okay.
Because they did establish that you could have a compounding effect of the Titans. Like, you could be two multi-shifting powers at the same time.
Well, Eren was, even at that moment, Eren was the living example of that because he was the attack and the founding Titan. Before they even had to think about taking the hardening, he already was both.
Shit, I just realized, fuck, I'm so sad I brought it up because, like, we kind of shifted from Season 3 Part 1 to Part 2, and I realized, shit, man, the vial, now we're back to Season 3 Part 1.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I guess we can talk about, like, how the fight happened, because I remember, like, very vividly, it was very odd. Like, Eren had been practicing to, like, use his hardening ability because he's going to seal 2 parts. Remember, there's the part that Berthold kicked down his Colossal, and Reiner ran through as the Armor Titan. Because, like, first they go to the outside, and they seal that, then, like, the inner wall, and I remember that.
And then it breaks again.
No, I think when he's back in the inner wall, wait, he hasn't sealed it yet, but fucking, that's the Beast Titan, he transforms all those other Titans.
Yeah.
Unlike, because the battle takes place on 2 fronts. There's the outer wall and the inner wall, and behind the inner wall was where I swear, Reiner was. Yeah, and, like, the spot between the inner wall and the outer wall, that's where, like, all those Titans were, and the Beast Titan was throwing all these fucking rocks with long-ass, scary-ass arms.
They were...
I love the idea of the Thunder Spears,
because here's the thing, they were trying to outsmart...
They expected a trap.
They expected some trap, but they were also expecting bite it, and they'll somehow have the upper hand, but they had no idea how severe it would be.
They knew they were coming up against 3 people.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Like, they knew they were going to come up against Reiner, Berthold, and the Beast Titan.
Yeah, but they weren't ready for the Beast Titan just summoning several...
They didn't know about that yet, no.
And that's when it got desperate.
And wasn't the quadrupedal Titan there as well?
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, that's something I want to say, which I thought was, like, kind of weak writing-wise. Like, because right before they show up, I remember, like, Armin, he finds, like, the cups that, like, Zeke and everyone was, like, drinking from, and it's like, yo, this shit smells good. There's probably, like, fancy tea. But the thing is, like, that night before, because, the quadrupedal Titan that can speak, we could, like, assume that's, like, is that a Titan shifter or something like that?
That's definitely a shifter.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at the time, she wasn't, she's kind of just thrown, and, like, no one called her by her name or any of that thing. Like, and I thought it was, like, if it was just, like, a Titan that was, like, walking on be fine, but, like, to see a Titan talk and for them to not address it, I feel like, I don't know, it seemed odd, because, like, eventually when you find out that...
At this point in the show, it's fairly clear that we understand a Titan's anatomy, so if we see one that's literally on 4 legs with a cart lashed to its back, there's got to have enough intelligence to be doing that. It's an intelligent Titan at that point.
I liked specifically how they set it up, because, we understand that they're getting pincered. on one side they have to deal with like Raynor, and it's like Eren versus Raynor. I thought that was good because Eren was winning last time, but now like he has a hardening ability, he has hardened fist now, so he can actually punch Raynor's armor off. I'm like, yo, Eren's about this shit, and like
were it not for Berthold's intervention, Eren might just have won that fight.
It's just a little bit sad as well. Not sad. No, what's sad that happened. Remember, like Raynor was fighting Eren, and he noticed that like the Survey Corps people were around him though, but they know that the blades can't cut his neck. But they had the new weapon, like the electric rods,
the Thunderbolt.
The Thunder Spears.
So I remember like they used the Thunder Spears, and, like they pierced his neck. I remember like they pretty much blew him up, so they could see like most of his head is just off. And I remember like Connie and Sasha, they were crying because that's their boy, right? And I remember Jean was getting mad at them because like, no, that's our fucking enemy, goddammit. But like they knew that shit hurts because he's an ally. And then we found out because Raynor had the ability to like shift his consciousness into part of his body though, which is why he was able to survive a bit. And that's when we found like they threw Berthold over in like a fucking barrel.
Yeah, that was a great move.
Yeah, there's a pretty good reveal as well because like we knew that like Raynor was on the wall, and thanks to Armin they found him, and like Berthold, we didn't know where he was. But if like at least in the anime, like we see them have a conversation right before they split up, and like Raynor's like, you're Berthold. I didn't think you were reliable before, but now I see I can rely on you, and you're gonna be by yourself. So remember to try and think on yourself and don't just wait for the signal. We saw Raynor jump over one side of the wall, so we know where he was going to be. And we saw Berthold jump over to the other side. We had no idea where he was going to be. So I thought the reveal to find out he was on the cart the whole time.
I also, there's something that I love in any show or movie about, is if they can give a complicated mess for, like, in terms of a battle for characters and have an actually tactically sound strategy in terms of how they get around it. I thought this season was incredible on every front. You see the main guys of the scouts, they came ready. They had Eren, he's got the hardening, they knew he could take on, Reiner, they had the Thunder Spears, they had all that stuff ready. They had some of these plans ready. I think Armin had a plan to deal with the Colossal Titan too if it came to.
I think their idea was that the Colossal Titan can't win a war of attrition, and that was the best they could do.
That was one plan.
That one they didn't come prepared though. Like they figured that out eventually, but it wasn't a plan. But you were right.
They also had the idea that okay, with all these scouts and with Levi, they might be able to deal with the Beast Titan. But things quickly shifted against them when the Beast Titan had all these other Titans involved, and they're like, oh, well, this changes things. More and more things went wrong. They weren't able to take down Reiner exactly when they hoped to, and things went bad, real bad. And I love every aspect of it. It wasn't like an asshole,
Like they overcame it, but it wasn't really through bullshit. Like it made sense how they had it.
And this is something that always gets me. You can like get through a complicated situation without like a complete asshole, and it just have it actually be smart and make sense within the lore that you have already established.
That's very good. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, God, I love Dragon Ball Z. I love it, but there are some insane assholes in that show. It's like, no, you were dead. You were definitely dead.
So anyway, back to
this and their lack of assholes.
Yes, Attack on Titan, because it was good. I like how the Colossal Titan was. I forgot how big of a threat he was because the time between like season 3 part 2 and season 2, it was like it was a long time. Because remember, like when Berthold got thrown over in the barrel, Armin's like, fuck, it's Berthold. Run for your fucking lives. Because, like, Berthold...
he just has an AoE, doesn't he?
Yeah, because his transformation... Because, like, that's not something we have to deal with too much before, I think. But, like, because, like, when he kicked the walls down, he was kind of away from people. I'm not sure how people survived, like, the first time he did, like, when they fought him and Ryder. His transformation killed, like, fucking all of Hanji's fucking people and shit. I remember, like, this huge sense of, like, hopelessness. Raiders survived. Berthold's just big as shit. And he was destroying the town and set everything on fire. It's like, man, it was terrible. Like, remember, like, Armin was giving orders, was so stuck. Like, Jean, could you take over? I don't know what to do in the situation. You're better at this type of shit. Like, there's a sense of hopelessness, but like, it wasn't completely hopeless. I remember, like, the way Armin described it is like, okay, you guys will take down Raider, me and Eren will take down Berthold. I'm like, yo, you and Eren take down Berthold? Yo, what's the plan, my guy? What's the plan? And it was actually a pretty interesting plan. I like how Armin...
It was a brilliant plan, dude.
I like how Armin
remember that so well,
like...
and it was Armin who came out, because they established early on that Armin was really smart. And they also showed how, throughout the show, it wasn't like bullshit, oh, I can memorize everything for plot convenience. So I'm going to invent this random thing that's very convenient to the plot because I'm so smart.
He's a good tactician.
That's just lazy writing. I'm looking at you, Iron Man from the Avengers. Whatever.
Oh my god.
Serious,
yeah,
but like,
have him make Mecha Godzilla to fight Berthold.
No, but no, the thing is with Armin, it wasn't, oh, this guy's so smart, like shoving it down your throat. No, they're like, you're good at strategy, we need you to come up with something. He's like, that's a lot of pressure, man, calm down. And then,
he's not confident, but he has, it's the same thing you're saying, it's about natural talent.
He had the ability, and he came up with a brilliant plan that I was blown away by. But once again, it played so well on the show.
Shit
'cause
worked.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
just to clarify the plan for those who don't remember, remember the plan was because Aaron tried to stop Berthold from moving forward, and Berthold literally kicked him to the top of the wall unconscious. You know,
I remember that.
yeah. So remember, like, so like Armin goes to like Aaron, wakes him up, and says, "Here's the plan." And like immediately after, Aaron falls from the wall, and Berthold's thinking to himself, "I guess this guy is fucked." And I remember like Armin, he uses his 3D maneuver gear to latch onto Berthold's teeth because that part doesn't become undone when Berthold like steams muscle mass off. And I remember like Armin's like slowly burning to death, and Berthold, when he's trying to steam Armin so he dies, he's not moving. There's so much steam he can't see too much. He's just focused on fucking Armin, and Armin's like a fucking fried motherfucker right now.
And doesn't that also burn down his muscle mass too? Like that burns up the time he's able to be the Colossal Titan?
Yeah, I believe so. It does too.
Does.
And
Also, how while Aaron was down, he was using his. He looked like he was just down, but when the whole steam thing was going on, like Berthold was looking down. He's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of, it's foggy for him too." He's like, "I kind of see the silhouette of Aaron down there. He looked out of it,
Yeah, that's completely on his face.
Armin is the only threat right now, and he's no
turning
threat.
Armin into beef jerky.
So he was just burning Armin. Armin is just like, there's no hope for him. He's gonna be burnt. He's gonna be dead. His plan finally comes through. Does someone else want to say it?
Yeah, I'll say it. Because it turns out, like, after, like, he realizes, damn, Armin's, like, burned as fuck. I'm pretty sure he stops. He sees, wait a sec, that's not Aaron. That's a crystallized version of Aaron. What's going on? And Aaron, in his 3D, out of Titan form, in his 3D maneuver gear, comes from behind Berthold, like, surprise, motherfucker. And he fucking cuts Berthold out of the nape of the Colossal Titan, beating him. And, like, almost at the cost of Armin's life. Which is Armin's plan the entire time. Make him think that Aaron's fall from the tower was a complete accident just to let his guard down, and they fucking that's how they took down the
and they sealed up the wall. That was so good.
It truly was real big brain time.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he sacrificed himself, he did not expect to live from it. He literally was planning on dying burning to death slowly, just to buy Aaron enough time. And Aaron having no other option, being forced to go along with it, and he went along with it, and it all came together. Holy shit! Like
Sasageo indeed.
Exactly. It's like, oh my god, this
yeah, but that's what I feel bit because I remember like because the strategy was up because they had a strategy to beat Rainer, which like it wasn't super well. I mean, it was fine, like it's pretty basic stuff. So we could probably skip talking about that too much. But they end up defeating Rainer and they cut him out of his Titan as well and questioning him and shit. But I remember like what we haven't been talking about. I feel like we have not been giving enough attention to it all. Is like Captain Irwin. Or Irvin, because like this entire time they're fighting on this side of the wall, on the other side,
Jotaro.
like Irwin's like fighting, and I remember most of like the Stallion corpses already died because they've been hidden by rock. Like, they were fine killing the Titans, but then like fucking Zeke and his goddamn like Egg Titan was just throwing all these fucking rocks, killing them. And I remember,
can we talk about Zeke? He's like my favorite antagonist in the whole show.
Don't worry, we don't talk about him.
Oh my god, wait.
What I liked was because I remember like during this entire time, because I thought it was weird that because I remember like when back in season 3 or whatever, Amanda Princess was talking to Irwin and said like I don't side with you. I will do anything for the sake of humanity. But I remember he specifically said, unlike you, Irwin. I thought that was a very weird thing to say. It's like, what? Because Irwin, he's in the Sword Corps, so he wants to help humanity, right? But that wasn't the truth because apparently he wants to know the truth of like why everything's going on. Like obviously he just want to help humanity.
Sorry, that was a weird thing to ask.
Me get to my goddamn thought. And I thought like because like I remember like he's literally sitting down with Levi because all that's left is like Irwin, Levi, and all these new recruits who have never fought Titans before who wanted to join. And I remember Irwin's just sitting there like, damn, I'm sad, man. I want to know the secrets of the earth and all this shit and blah, blah, blah. And I remember, like, the plan is, like, Irwin said he's gonna, like, I'm gonna con these people into running. And, like, during that time, they develop, and their plan is so sick when it's put into play. Like, Levi's gonna use the Titan to, like, get to the Beast Titan. Because the Beast Titan, he's, like, in a huge line in the center. And there's just Titans, like, on his left and his right. So, like, I remember...
They just straight up ran out of distraction. This fucking Zerg rush.
Yeah, that's true. But I like the way Irwin...
The problem with the Zerg rush is most of the Zerg don't survive that shit.
That's the thing, but it was brilliant because, like, you see it both ways, right? Zeke is trying to surround them. Now you can't escape. I have a wall of Titans from both sides. I'm in the center. You're trapped. You can't go. The only way to go is if you go over the wall or behind the wall, but then there's the Armored Titan and the Colossal Titan. You're trapped. But they used it for their advantage because you can't use
his strategy against him.
Exactly. You can't use... There's no 3D maneuverable gear that it won't work because there's no trees. But the Titans are there, paving a perfect path for Levi. And Irwin hedges everything on Levi. You are the one to take this guy down. As a fan, as a person looking, you've seen the Beast Titan. He's way more powerful than the Armored Titan. We established that because they fought and he got his ass whooped. He has all these powers. He seems extremely powerful.
Smart as shit.
Can Levi really go up against him? How powerful is Levi? And then Irwin has this plan. It's a suicidal plan. It's a painful self-sacrifice. They're gonna be a distraction. They're gonna go into it.
Oh, there's one thing I just want to throw on that, because I thought, like, the way he was described to Levi, he said it's going to take an excellent con man to pretty much convince them to go out and do this shit. The way he ended up telling them, he didn't even lie to them. He just said, yes, we are all going to die. And it's like, was you're saying it doesn't matter if I disobey orders? Yeah, it doesn't matter if you disobey orders, because you're going to die anyway. And then they just listened to him, and they did that shit.
That has been Erwin's strat, just like his first speech.
Yeah.
That's been his strat since day one. If you come here, 80% chance you die. If you pass that first mission, you'll live a long time. Like, he's very clear about, like,
So that
you're
bit was
gonna
a lie.
die.
They died.
Yeah, just to
Those-
quote
weren't those
Captain
people on the
Gordon for the sake of...
recruits?
Oh, yeah. We gotta pick the next parts and wrap on. We've been going for like a while.
Yeah,
Shit.
but I just want to get onto that one bit about Irving, like how
Because
brilliant
it's so
it was.
good.
Because like Zeke thought, okay, it's checkmate, I won. Then he sees the fact that Irvin's trying to run in. Okay, you're trying to attack me, but then he's using the the smoke signals, and you're like, oh, you think this is gonna cloud my vision? Please, I could just turn these rocks into rubble and still throw it at you. And
The shrapnel rocks.
Yeah.
Shrapnel rocks. You're still gonna die. No point. Zeke thinks this is the best strategy you got. Oh my god, this is pathetic. And Irvin just keeps going, and I'm like, dude, you're committed to this failed strat. I'm disappointed, man. Come on. And you can tell it's not like dumb for Zeke to think this way. He feels like they're desperate. This is their last
Yeah,
move.
it's a desperation move. It
So,
looks like a desperation move.
He feels like, and then finally he sees he's done his deed, he's taken care of them, they're gone. He's like, well, there's that. And then he notices, wait, where are all the Titans from the side? And Levi
Why do I hear boss music?
Exactly. Because it goes both ways. On one end, Irving had to do his incredible self-sacrifice, but Levi had to agree with this plan, knowing the consequences. Watch his friends and allies die bit by bit, all relying on him to succeed. He comes in there, you see in his face the rage and anger and everything. Irving's like, oh, what if he survived? Puts his hand out like, okay, this is nothing. I can, he's way stronger than on most of them. He can easily take care of them. In the beginning of season 3, they established a second strongest soldier in the scouts. This guy got toyed around by the Peace Titan, where he literally captured this guy, took off his maneuverability, and let him be eaten off by the others, and the guy died like a bitch.
Wait,
This is nothing.
Wait, was that guy described as the second strongest guy in the scouts?
That was like I think they described him, he was like the second best next to Levi, right? In terms of the pure fighting ability. Yeah, I know. I mean, I think it should be Mikasa, but I think it's from like a higher ranking set.
Yeah,
but they
also
did
because
say,
of like
he's-
news, so she hasn't proven herself yet. So
Yeah, exactly. But he got wiped out, so he's like, okay, these guys are nothing. I mean, give me a break. Goes for it, gets his hand sliced to bits, and then they cut back to the scene, and he's like, Ryan is saying, oh yeah, by the way, there's one particular soldier you really gotta watch out for. He's not like the others. It's Levi, and he's like, oh shit, is this Levi? And
then Levi doing the fucking Beyblade up his arm.
Honestly, I like it a lot in the manga too, because that's the first one I saw. It was so quick in the manga, but the panels was great. Like each panel just like a cut, get fucked. Levi got all the fucking blood around his eyes. And
Yeah,
shit.
it's like, fuck you and everything you stand for.
It's like, goddamn. Yeah, man, they animated it properly. Let's say
He tortured this freaking Titan, and he made the Beast Titan his bitch. It wasn't a fight. It was just Levi curb
it was a
stomping the
Yeah.
powerful Titan we've seen to this day. And
Quickly, let me take your
He sort of-
knees real quick.
This is beating the championship in Pokemon and then walking into Route 1 with your level 100.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah,
I'd argue that Levi was torturing him. I'd say he was being
Oh,
more
no.
strategic about it.
No,
for
because-
serious. Like, I will say though, like when he does get Zeke out of the nap, then he starts torturing him with the blade.
Yeah,
in his mouth. So,
that's
yeah.
my point. That first of all established very clearly the power level of Levi,
Yeah.
and that's where I felt like, okay, I think the Ackerman line, I think it makes sense.
Another thing that I'll say again, like I mentioned earlier, one of the spin-off mangas, which is like a prequel that talks about how Levi got into the sequel corps,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
into the Survey Corps. It's
I
very
did
much
watch
like
that.
Levi's entire motivation was that his friends died for the sake of Erwin's ideals, and Erwin had fucking well better succeed, otherwise his friend's death was in vain. So
Yeah.
when Erwin dies there, that's why Levi absolutely loses it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point that you brought up.
That's true.
And-
But guys, I already feel like we gotta move on to like what's in the fucking basement and shit.
Yeah, we should. We're already like coming up
Spent
on
like 10
21
minutes
minutes.
talking about Levi
No,
Dickin.
we had to also mention the whole freaking army
Oh god, there's so much.
that they had
It was
to go
only
through
10
to,
episodes, but there's so much.
Yeah.
The decision that
That's
made,
the
because
thing.
like at the end of the day, because what happened is Erwin. Okay, one of the scouts that was left to the death, I forget his name. He got spared, and Erwin almost died, but he brought like Erwin's body over to Aaron. Bertholdt's defeated. The Beast Titan was defeated, but pretty much escaped by the Quadrupedal Titan. I forget her name.
Yeah.
Or their name.
Quadruped, yeah.
Yeah, but
And I
the
believe
decision is here.
she got
Armin
Rhino
and
too.
Erwin, because Armin and Erwin are near death. So we have to decide who's gonna live. And the scouts are saying like, "Yo, we should save Erwin. He's the leader." And Mikasa and Aaron, they're super biased. But to be honest to God, Aaron actually made some better points than I thought he would. I thought he was gonna be like, "No, Armin's my friend." Let's say, but he say no. He literally brought up times that Armin has made strategy specifically helped save the Survey Corps before. He's saying like Armin's a tactician just like Erwin as well.
Yeah.
You should take a chance on him. So I feel
Yeah.
like, he actually made a good
I think the ultimate decider, like, that was going to be a massive thing. Look, didn't they start that season up with a scene of Mikasa trying to kill Levi and take the vial?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Which is
And, like, the entire thing, literally the entire deciding point of that was Erwin, like, half dead, telling Levi he's ready to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like he was, cause remember cause like before they came, Levi was even saying, "Erwin, if you do some fuck shit, I will break your fucking leg so you can't go on this
Yeah.
trip." Or like Erwin was just like, "It's something I want to see with my own eyes. I'm too impatient. I want to go." And they understood each other. It was sad at the end because I remember like they removed Aaron and Mikasa off the rooftop because like Levi was gonna save Erwin in the end, and then remember Erwin put his hand up because he had his memory of like Sensei or
He, like, batted away the vial or something like that.
Yeah.
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 Remember, he had a flashback. I'm pretty sure it was with his dad because his dad used to be his teacher. Because I remember he raised his hand up like his sensei picked me or something. And it's sad, but it was like Levi just wanted Erwin to like stop suffering. He made his decision.
Yeah.
But I thought what was good was fuck, it was a flash forward. Like it was the scene after talking about it because I remember like Armin was confused as to why it was him. And I remember back when they were at home. They found because remember that military officer that John ropes into helping the Survey Corps?
Yeah, he literally
died.
said, "Fuck you, it should have been Erwin."
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember because after they said to like that guy's friend that I think Aaron's like, why do you say that shit? Because someone has to tell the fucking truth, Aaron. You guys made because of the selfishness of you guys and Captain Levi. Erwin died, and he was the greatest hope for humanity. All we had was fucking Armin. It should have been Armin who died, and like that guy, I feel bad because like that guy's spitting, but it's like, goddamn, it's like a harsh truth.
Yeah.
But then Armin comes out and agrees with
Yeah,
him.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Armin, I'm like
Armin's just like, yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Commander Erwin was like a better commander and he had better ideas and he was more decisive than me. It should have been him.
Even
But
if-
I'm
even
here
if
now,
it-
so I have to live up to Erwin's ideals.
Even if it involves a
Um,
lot of suicide.
Yeah, that's the key thing I want to mention because I've noticed one thing. Even though they're both great tacticians in the sense that their plans have worked, I think it's fair to say that Irvin's plans were far more desperate and far more costly than Armin. And I feel like Armin, if I was to compare the two, I would say Armin was the better tactician. He just didn't have the experience, the leadership,
yeah.
and everything
Erwin
else.
thinks about success, Armin thinks about survival and success.
Yes.
No, I mean, I think that's fair, but not fair to some extent. Because remember, like, the story of the guy who trained them at the training corps and how he's friends with Aaron's dad. He was thinking
Yeah.
because back then people were saying stuff like, "Yo, no one on Arwen's team died." But like, "Yo, that guy's supposed to be the leader of the scouts," but people on the team constantly keep dying. Like, Arwen, he did make strategy to make sure that like when they go past the walls, we use the smoke signals and shit just to make sure like people are more afraid. So I feel like, I mean, I'm
That's the
not
thing,
sure.
like, right? Armin was willing to make strategies that saved people's lives, but he was also definitely willing to die to take down the
Yeah.
colossal title.
Yeah.
Erwin, in particular, made strategies that would work, but was more than happy to throw away lives for success. He wanted to live to see it.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
I want to disagree with that just a bit, just because I remember the scene when he lost his arm and everyone looked back on him. He said, "Fuck me, keep going, just keep going."
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
No, he was willing to die.
Because he
it's
wanted
just he just never
success
died.
above all.
he,
That's
he
the
does
thing.
want to live too, but at the same time, you're right. The success.
He does
is
want to
the
live, but
key.
the mission succeeding is the most important thing to him. Armin's willing. He wants it to succeed. That's very important. But if someone's gonna die, it's gonna be him.
I think the loss of Irvin was felt because he was a good tactician, but he was
Yes.
a great leader.
Yeah, that's true. He had the
but-
charisma. Those
it-
speeches, man.
but-
I remember the speeches more than anything.
Exactly. And Armin, while he was, in my opinion, a better tactician, he wasn't a great leader. He was not the next in line to be commander. Hanj was.
No.
You know, she could play the role of being a leader.
She's smart too,
Yeah.
though.
She's smart too, but let's be real. She
She's
relied
crazy,
on
but she's
Armin
smart.
to
Yeah, I don't think she's near as smart as
Exactly.
Armin though. I think like if they were the
Yeah,
same.
she relied on Armin for her strategy.
Chances are they'd probably give. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but they probably give Armin like a huge role in deciding the strategies because that's what
Oh,
he's
yeah.
good at.
Yeah,
He did. Okay, but as we move on from this a bit to talk about like finally what was in the basement.
Yes.
Because I
The
feel like it
basement.
took us so many years. What's in the basement? They eventually find. Oh, because remember the first thing they find? It's like, yo, it's a
The
painting.
photograph,
of someone.
and they're like,
Yeah,
"What the actual
yeah,
fuck
because
is
it's like,
this?"
wait, this can't be a painting. It's far too detailed. And on
Yeah.
the back, we found out this is actually a photograph. And then we found out all this. Fuck, I don't even know where to start. But like, we pretty much find out that like the government lied. Obviously, there's not just people outside of the walls, humanity. There's whole other countries and civilizations even more advanced than the people on the wall.
Yeah.
And like,
And they're the only ones trapped inside the
Yeah.
walls,
what do you guys think about the origin of the Titan power itself? Because you
coming from
understand,
the Eldian bloodline.
was Ymir a god? I believe.
No,
No,
Ymir.
she-
The original Emir was like a god king, but not or
Not
god
really,
queen, but not like
really.
a god.
Ymir made a pact with a god, and the god gave her the curse of the Titans. Essentially, that's how the story
Interesting.
went, from what I remember.
Well,
But
I missed that fucking
yeah,
detail.
but how they portray it in later chapters of the manga seems more accidental. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
I feel like,
I don't mind that kind of thing. I do enjoy that kind of mythology or myth, since I like follow a lot of legends and cryptids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing statements about season 3 then?
Yeah, we should probably hurry up. I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
we're
I
gonna
think
talk about most of this stuff in the manga anyway. But I just want to say,
Yeah.
the reveal to find out, like, you know, like, because to me, this is where I start the manga. Because I thought to myself, like, after we found out, we had all the questions. Oh, there's people outside the wall. They came to attack because the founding, not the founding, I guess the founding tiding and all this shit. I didn't think there's too much for point to read after this, and obviously I'm wrong, which we'll get into in a bit. But I thought, like, yeah, season 3 part 2, I thought it was good. I also thought, you know, Aaron like living his father's memories, so we understood like how Zeke grew up and I was betraying all this shit, and like finding out, well, the reason why. No, we've been saying
The one thing I'll say that I really like, the greatest part about the very ending of the show was how like a lot, like Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin, their goal the whole time, at least because of Armin, has been to make it to the sea.
See the ocean.
Yeah.
Since fucking episode 1, and they make it to the ocean, and Mikasa and Armin are like splashing around in the sea, in the ocean, and having fun, and then Aaron's just standing there stoically because I guess he started to remember shit because of man has like 3 Titans inside him at this point.
No, because like this bit is so good because I want to touch on this, right? Because
and then he's just, everyone's like, "Oh, what do you think about the ocean?" And he's like, "Across the ocean is the enemy." Like to everyone else, the fight has just ended. They beat the Titans. They beat like the armored and beast Titan. Everything, like that whole thing. You know, they eliminated the roving Titans that were killing people. They've reclaimed all the landmass. Everyone's like, finally, happiness and peace. And then Aaron's just like, I'm thinking about the next battle.
Yeah.
So this is another one of those moments where the show, something happens. It's awkward. It's out of the blue. It's weird, and they play such a massive role. The coronation, when, you know, Historia is proclaimed queen and all that stuff, and they all go and kiss her hand. Aaron kisses her hand and gives off a very weird look. Like, he just, like, as if he just had a stroke. Everyone's just like, what the heck is wrong with you? And he tries to snap out of it, and okay. That moment, if you read the manga, that plays a significant role in Aaron, and it's probably the reason for a massive shift, which is first teased in that beach scene, when everyone's happy and all that stuff, but he just is in a different frame of mind entirely.
Actually, Otto, we're at the end of season 3 right now. You actually could just say what part of the manga you're talking about.
Do it.
Jump to season 4 right now.
If
and his story
he
has
comes in contact with the royal bloodline, he sees shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, and he sort of gets access to his founding Titan powers on this topic
remember,
with season 4,
done.
right?
You could just skip to season 4.
Okay, fine. I mean, you already know my freaking last thoughts. You already know my last thoughts. Now we're talking about one of the greats in anime, you know. But now, let's start out with with the manga. So, Eren has the powers of the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan. But they established that only a person of the royal blood can use the Founding Titan's powers. Normal Eldians can't. Normal Eldians can use the powers of the shifters, but they can't use the Titan's powers of the founders. However, if you're in contact with the royal blood, that is when you can have, that's when the powers activate for you. That
is a specific thing when he's contacting a Titan who has royal blood?
No, when you make contact with
when
another royal...
when he punched that one Titan who ate his mom, then he controlled the other Titans?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. She was part of the...
Because I remember right at the ass end of the anime, he stands up and during the court martial when they're in court, and he's like, shit, if I touch a Titan who has royal blood, then I control my founding Titan powers, but if he says this, then people are going to Titanize Historia. So he doesn't do it to protect her.
Wait, here's the thing though, because remember like when Eren was like chained up in the basement, gonna be eaten by Historia? Like when they made contact, and I remember like when Historia, like her father touched Eren's back, he saw shit. And she wasn't a Titan.
Yeah,
remember
true.
Oh.
So I guess it's kind of so that's why I don't think it's because it was a time of royal blood. It's about the royal blood.
Yeah.
But then if what
Yeah.
Otto was saying is true and they had contact before, that may have just been like a small plot hole because like they rather didn't think.
It could have been one of those accidental things too, because sometimes there were moments where Aaron's memories just sort of come in and out in random moments. I think they also established this too, how the Eldians have this weird connection with each other where it surpasses time and space, and it's like they're able to.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I was gonna bring up the whole bit where like just before Aaron's dad gained the attack titan, the fucking guy who he ate said something about saving Mikasa and Armin, then he's like, oh wait, no, that's not now.
Yeah.
I think I just remember the answer, because the royal family not only have the ability to control the founding titan, but they have the ability to control the memories. Like the power of the memories come in and out too.
But the problem with that is that I believe a royal blood member who has the founding titan gets taken over by the first king.
Yeah, but they still have.
So that's why they wouldn't give Historia the founding titan, because Aaron having it allows them to have freedom.
Exactly.
The royal blood's still useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think him making contact with Historia may have like just randomly triggered his memories. And that could be why it happened. And this wasn't just a random trigger. This triggered a shit ton of memories and perspectives too, because it's like a whole bunch of people's views.
Loads of different lives stacked together. Like you said, there's something to do where they transcends time.
Yeah.
Because before Mikasa, Armin, and Aaron were even born, the guy was like, "We're doing this to save Mikasa and Armin." Oh wait, never mind. It's too early for that.
Oh no, he says something.
Yeah, he did say he basically said Mikasa and Armin. No,
Yeah.
I think
He definitely said
but I
that.
think he said like, oh, I don't know who those people
They
are.
haven't explained it just yet, but that was moments before Grisha Yeager obtained the attack titan.
Actually, they did explain it in the manga.
Did they? Okay,
Wait,
cool.
where?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Rumbling happened, actually.
They're all connected through time. It goes forward too, not just backwards. Could the conclusion of Attack on Titan be like the whole Chosen One archetype? Because
Can we get a story synopsis really quickly for the manga? Because
Okay.
frankly,
thank God we've been all over
the
the
last
place.
thing I saw
Okay.
was where a certain person was shot on an airship.
Please, after like
Spoiler.
the anime ends, we pretty much get the first like 10 or 15 chapters or so. They're just in the country of Marley. Marley being where like Rainer and Bertolt are from, and we find out stuff like, you know, Rainer after his defeat, he's been fighting in wars, and it seems that the age of Titans is over because other countries are developing weapons that are very effective against the Titans.
I remember
But
that.
like, in my mind, I thought those chapters were so fucking good. I stopped reading after they get to the ocean because in my mind, all the mystery is done now. It's just gonna be fun. I thought it was gonna be interesting, but they built so much for Reiner's character. You understand how fucking miserable he is that he had to do all this fucking shit. The fucking like some of the children, like I think it was like Falco or something like that. He was like a child who understood that Reiner's cousin, who's probably
Falco and Gabby and stuff.
like,
Yeah.
like, 'cause I remember like one of them. I think like Falco made like a jab saying it must be so nice to die young for the sake of this country that doesn't love you. He said something like that, and Reiner pretty much said, "I'm gonna fucking report you for that shit." Not because he was going to, but just to scare the shit out of him. Let you know, like if they even catch you saying this shit, they'll fucking kill you and your family. You need, and like you said, like if you wanna save her from this, you need to outdo her, so she doesn't have to suffer out of faith. I'm like, god damn. I thought like it made me really like Reiner a lot as a character, just because like
Yeah.
Cause I remember like when Bertholdt was fighting everyone like in season 3, his resolve was like firm. I'm like, okay, Bertholdt decided he's gonna be the bad. But Reiner, it seems that Reiner was still struggling. Like, oh my god. Like also, also the reveal, because we found that same little kid who Reiner said he was gonna report. I mean, the same little kid who Reiner encouraged to like try and take the armor titan. We found that like he's been talking to someone at the hospital, and then we found the real that person was fucking Aaron. I'm like, what the fuck? What is Aaron doing in this goddamn country? Holy shit.
Yep.
Like, let's just say like I thought like the lore building involved in stuff, and I thought that was really good, and that's where it starts off though. I guess we should talk about this before we move on to like the next part. Do you guys have any thoughts on this part of the manga? Because it's the part we've all read.
Actually, there is one thing I wanted to mention. As soon as I found out the state of the world outside of the walls, it was such a turnaround. Because from season 1 to season 3, or, you know, that part of the manga, we were always under this impression that all of humanity has been wiped out. Those who died within the walls are the last remnants. But the fact that turned it on its head so fast, but they did it in such a way that it didn't feel so alienating.
Like it made sense. It made sense.
So good.
Yeah, because
it is so good.
Yeah, I agree with you because I feel like a lot of stories where like mystery's an element, most of them kind of fall apart when you find out what the mystery is. You know what I mean? Attack on Titan didn't do that. It didn't disappoint. I'll also say something like another one was because I didn't finish it, but I heard the ending suck. Like Lost didn't like turn out its mystery well at the end. I heard it was Alright, it's
Yeah,
questionable. And
that's
also, like,
true.
I mean, just to keep it anime, Erased.
Famously one of the worst.
So just to keep it anime with Erased, you know, a town where I don't exist.
Yeah.
I never finished that show, and a lot of people. I literally heard so many people shitting on the show that I just didn't finish it.
Like, I don't think, like, not that it should be like overhyped a bit, but things like they made it so
For sure.
obvious who the killer was, especially like there's actually like this one scene where like the main character's with the killer, but he doesn't know who he is, and it's like don't open that fucking drawer, and like when he says that, his eyes are red, and they changed them just red for that scene, and like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But that's about a race as a whole of thing. Let's just say Attack on Titan. Yeah, I think we could agree for sure that Attack on Titan, I feel like as far as like mystery and anime goes, like the answer to its mystery has been very good. Like it's not
Just like what Rahul said, it's so crucial to have nailed this, because if they couldn't get this right, then the whole show falls apart. Because keep in mind, it's not the end yet. There's so much more to go on, and exactly.
The perfect example for that kind of thing that I always use is like my perfect example for the worst reveal of all time is Gundam Unicorn, because the entire series builds up upon something they call Laplace's box, which is basically Pandora's box, and it's the concept that like there is a secret that one particular family holds, and if this family were to reveal this secret, it would disrupt the entire order of like the two factions controlling the war. But they've kept it under their hat for some reason, and no one knows what it is. And in like the second last episode, you find out what it is. The human race has started speciating into a different race that are like far more powerful, but the regular humans are trying to keep that shit under wraps so they don't get replaced. At the same time, everyone knows it's happening because they're like, oh, these new humans are telekinetic. Let's build fucking giant robots that allow them to manipulate that power for the sake of winning wars. And then literally the secret of Laplace's box is a signed treaty by a bunch of world leaders who are now dead that agrees that they exist.
What?
Yeah.
Bruh.
And it's so stupid and inconsequential that in the movie that is the sequel to Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Narrative, canonically they swept it under the rug.
Bruh.
And it's like, yeah,
Stupid.
that's what they would have done. That's completely accurate. If there's literally like, oh, everyone agreed they existed, so like they all dead now. Ask them. But yeah, like that's my perfect example of like a terrible review, because like what's in the basement was on the tier of how important that Laplace's box thing is.
Yeah.
Laplace's box was made out to be as important as what was in the basement,
Yeah.
but what was in the basement actually fucking mattered.
Exactly.
And it was an excellent reveal that gave you more questions than you started with,
Exactly.
and actually continued the show, as opposed to being some stupid bullshit that wasn't worth the 4 wars that were waged for it.
Yeah.
Like to me, I thought Reiner's life was miserable just because we found out, you know, he's an Eldian, he's treated like shit, and he wanted to become an official Marlian because like he's half Marlian, half Eldian, because his dad is a fucking Marlian. And like his mom had the child in secret. However, like
straight up in those manga chapters, Reiner's kind of like Eren.
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, he's like it? What do you mean?
He's just kind of suffering, and he's there. He's working for something, and he has his few moments where he's telling like, "I'll fucking report you." Like he has his few powerful moments, but he's full of doubt. And then especially when he meets Eren, his inability to transform—that's some textbook Eren. He's so conflicted.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
In that, no, like in the very beginning, like.
Well,
dude,
no, it was a threat.
Just like
Aaron,
Eren.
Aaron threatened him because Aaron already cut himself. He's like, you know what I'm about to do.
Yeah, there's
I know
people
you
in
don't
South
want to do this. I'm going to destroy everyone. If you do it too, you're going to kill a whole bunch of people. They're right below.
Yeah, because I know there's a segment where like Eren transforms and buries Reiner underground.
Yeah.
And Reiner doesn't burst out of it.
No,
yet.
he did transform.
And-
Though. He used his. He transformed quickly to like shield like Falco, who was with him.
To shield Falco.
Yeah.
But then Falco's like, Reiner, we need you. Reiner, help us. And Reiner's just kind of sitting there in Titan form, thinking about it.
I know what you mean.
I think
That's some text. That's
That is
Eren.
super-
Yeah.
you're right.
He in that phase, Reiner is like Eren, and Eren is like Annie.
I felt like that's actually an interesting twist because
I
like
know, yeah.
I love how it makes sense because Reiner season 3 when he revealed himself he was having a panic attack. He could not deal with the double identities. His mission was to destroy these people, because I like this, like the little trick they did. They kept talking about humanity. They referred to it now we know as the Eldians as humanity, and they said our mission was to destroy humanity, and they did that to hide the real, you know, the plot thing here, which was was aliens, but regardless, when you learn as to what he went through, his upbringing, he went in there full gung ho. Let's actually touch on it. Okay, let's go to the backstory, right?
Yeah, he's half Marlian, half Eldian. You know, Eldians and Marlians are allowed to breed. So the fact that he's half Marlian, he has to keep it secret. And he wants to become a soldier because his mom is still in love with his dad, who's a Marlian. That, like, I remember, like, Ryan figured out who his dad was, and he had that honorary armband, because the armband shows that you're an honorary Marlian, except that nobody uses shit and they treat you like shit anyway. And so when he tells his dad, hey, Dad, I'm an official Marlian now, so we can be together a family with Mom. And his dad just like cusses him out, like, no, if anyone finds out you're my kid, I'm cursed. I'll run away from you forever. So he's sad to figure out, like, damn, my dad doesn't love my mom, and, like, my dad doesn't love me either, and he's sad. I remember he goes off and he's tries to become a soldier because he wants to be, like, a proud warrior. Because remember, like, up to 7 of him, there's some people in his class. One of them becomes the future Jaw Titan, the one that eats Ymir. That guy's brother, who Ymir is the one who's eaten. And, like, Annie, Bert, Holt, other people, blah, blah. You understand who the people are. And we found 6 of them are going to become... They're going to become, like, Titans. And Reyna's like, yay, I made it. And it's like, what, Reyna, you're the weakest in the class. You're not going to become a Titan. But against all odds, he does. But then, like, he eventually finds out that, you know, he was only chosen because, like, the guy who, like, leads their group, he didn't want his brother, who was also there, to become a Titan. So he made his brother look bad and Reyna look good. So Reyna kind of says, like, damn, he's not special at all.
So he basically got scammed his way in.
Yeah, pretty much. And, like, it's just so fucking depressing for him, too.
And then right at the start of the mission when they're infiltrating Paradise, who's the Jawed Titan, who was their de facto leader, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was like the mission leader, and Annie's like, okay, fuck this, we're evacuating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, we have to continue. Ryan was the one
who had to step in and to continue the mission. And, I mean, you gotta put it into perspective. These are freaking kids. They've been brainwashed since their birth to think that these aliens are bad, you're scum, they're scum.
People, all this shit.
The only way you can even remotely make up for your past sins that happened centuries ago is if you dedicate your life to destroying your race of people in that island. Because those guys you guys are scum, but they're far worse. They're like even worse scum. And desperate to get out of this situation, and his motive is like getting his mom and dad together. That's so sad.
Yeah, man,
and seeing how it's all worthless and feeling like, okay, maybe I'll be good enough to be a Titan. Finally gets it, only realize, no, you weren't good enough. You were just like, I'm just using you as fodder because I want to protect my brother. If you die, I don't give a shit. And then
my poor man's just so punished.
And also the guy dies.
He's very much a product of his environment.
Exactly. And also the leader dies because of Reiner. I think Reiner screws up, and he dies to save Reiner. And
I don't know that Reiner I don't think that Reiner ever got to actually properly choose to do anything.
Exactly. And
everything was either decided for him, or anything he did choose, he found out later on was happened just as an accident, or someone else made the decision.
Yeah, like the only real decision Reiner made was after that dude died. It's like, shit, man, we're still gonna invade the walls. That's the only decision he made. Before that, it was just other shit influenced by other people and all this other shit. It's unfortunate.
And that's why they sent Zeke in, because they were like, we're getting our shit back. Fuck are you guys doing here still?
Actually, we guys should use this point on Reiner to like transition into Eren a bit, unless you guys have a bit more to say about Reiner.
I loved how they showed the beginning, like all the stuff that happened in season 1 with the attack, with the Annie, because it's so weird how they got the wall destroyed and suddenly all the Titans came in. I like how they explained that bit too, because Annie was drawing all their attention and running and doing her best, and then in that last moment, Bertolt changes in, and this was like a fight for their lives. They were on the verge of like death and everything falling apart. Bertolt just in his moment, he just did it. He didn't think. He just had to save his friends and all that stuff. He did it. He destroyed the walls. Everyone burst through, and then Reiner had to do his part. They completed the mission. They infiltrated, and they're like, okay, now we just gotta find the founding Titan. And they figured, okay, the best way to do that is to get into the Cervicorps and train as their soldiers and learn their secret. That was the whole purpose. But then he
made bonds.
He realized
for the first time in his life he was doing something he chose and succeeding on his own merit.
I mean, he was treated like a human being for the first time,
and then he gave it up.
Imagine like living your whole life to hate these people, then having to pretend to like them just to be one of them, but then genuinely realize, wait, they're not that bad. They're actually decent people. They're like me. They're my people. Good.
Just a little bit of trivia before we move on from Reiner. Probably a lot of people know this, but did you guys know that when they went to design the Armored Titan, Isayama literally looked at Brock Lesnar, the WWE wrestler?
Oh,
I did not know that.
And I, who was watching WWE actively at the time, I was like, this motherfucker looks like Brock Lesnar. And then Googled it, and I was like, oh, he is. Anyways, but to carry on.
Because I thought like,
as you were
because
saying,
for all this, we see Zeke being such a civilized person, the boy wonder. They call him because he betrayed his fucking dad and like helped the country greatly, all that shit. And then,
so ain't he basically Aaron's brother?
Yeah, Aaron's half brother. They have
Yeah.
the same dad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, seeing Reiner like meet Aaron again, even before I started reading the manga, in my head, I'm like, there's some way that Reiner could turn around and be a good guy, because I feel like, because I had a sense that because he felt so much guilt over doing this, there was hope to redeem him as a character. And we understand that, it's because he's a result of his circumstances. But I feel like seeing Aaron this time, though, it was crazy, because like Aaron changed so much in between.
They straight up switched. The two of them did.
Yeah, they did.
Because now Aaron is transforming in the middle of a bunch of civilians and killing Reiner's people in front of him.
Like, it was weird.
I know.
It was so wild to me.
Innocent people.
It was so wild to me because I understand Aaron was like using these people as a threat. But I thought like he's not gonna
because
do
of his mission.
Yeah.
They've literally switched roles in that point.
I thought it was just odd because like Aaron said he kind of understood you're not evil and it's like we're alike, but I didn't realize he meant that we're alike in the sense of like I'm gonna do to you what you guys did to me, and then he fucking wilded out like that. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like he just said, I understand now. You were just trying to save the world.
Yeah.
I also.
Oh my god, the
that.
fucking Warhammer Titan. What a fight. I can't wait to see that animated.
I remember one day we're hyping up the Warhammer Titan when they were explaining the different types of Titan shifters. Boy, Warhammer, this is gonna be interesting.
There's an earthbender. Just Toph Bay falling out here, and Aaron still wins with just by being good at fighting.
I know, and smart.
That's actually
too.
one of my favorite things about it, how he's literally fighting these people who they and their ancestors and their ancestors and their ancestors have been passing down the Titans, training them as weapons of war. And Aaron just comes in here like, I'm about to liberate some motherfuckers, and trounces them.
I actually thought it was really sick. Like during the fight, like two things. He like Mikasa blew up the Warhammer Titan's like neck. We realized, oh shit, that's not where it is. We found out, this is a Titan that can control the Titan from like that little crystal. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But also like when Aaron tried to like eat it, and realized like shit, I can't pierce it. And then he used the Jaws Titan to crush the fucking shell and bleed into his mouth and eat it.
Imagine being the Jawed Titan at that moment and realizing that he just used you to eat his friend. Imagine.
He actually, what's it called again? Yeah, the same Jaw Titan, I think his name is Gilligan.
Something like
he did
that.
say he wanted revenge because Aaron made him kill the fucking Warhammer Titan. It's like, I mean, goddamn, I can see why. But yeah, it was just like,
What a way to go too. It's like Jesus Christ.
wait, what the fuck?
Fucking nutcracker.
Thought you was safe inside your crystal. Think again, bitch.
Alright, and now he needs to do the same thing to
Annie.
Come on.
He knows the trick now. My man just went out there to catch them all. He just went there and retrieved did he get like 2 Titans there and then left?
He almost got the Jaw Titan himself though, but no, he was only able to get the one. He
got the war. So he's just catching them all. He's got Attack Titan, Founding Titan,
Warhammer,
and Warhammer Titan.
Yeah, honestly, I was wondering how you guys felt about what's so like different now. Like obviously over time you get to see like how Zeke had a plan, claiming that like I've always cared about my father's dream the entire time. And to be honest, like at first, like when we see that scene in the manga, when he says like I've been trying to see my father's will the whole time, but at age 7, even I knew that he was gonna fail. I thought that was bullshit.
Yeah.
But the thing's like we saw his backstory, and he actually explained so well how even at age 7 he was able to know that they were going on his parents just because he was nearby a place, and he eavesdropped, and he actually got advice by like the former holder of the Beast Titan what to do about it, because that guy was like a second father to him. So I was like, damn, it was very interesting. His character's even more deep than I thought, but also just like
that's why I love Zeke Yeager. I do have a weakness for villains, to be fair. That's why I like Kenny as well. But like Zeke is just fucking 1,000 IQ.
Yeah, do you guys have anything interesting to say about
Galaxy
Zeke?
Brain?
Yeah.
Tell us about Zeke, man. Tell me how you feel about Zeke, man. Tell me how you feel.
Yo, honestly, man, I feel for
He's just so smart.
He's so smart. He's so capable. He had such a brilliant plan. And, I really like how you have all these different goals and done by really people with incredible will, these characters. And you see their motivation behind it all clashing down. And I love how Zeke came up with this brilliant plan and he just got completely manipulated by Aaron into that he was on by it. He did a full-on switch that showed that, no, Aaron had a different plan all the fucking along.
Well, that's probably just because at that point, Aaron's got all all the past minds working with him.
And
Look, the thing I like about Zeke is he's made his plan and thought it through. And like, this is the thing, right? He's very clearly incredibly strong.
Yeah.
It's clearly implied that he wins a 1v1 against the armored Titan.
yeah.
So, like, he has that power. But even then, when he's fighting Erwin, he's smart enough. He could totally walk in and punch the shit out of them. But he's like, no, I'm going to throw rocks at these people.
keep my
And
distance.
throw Titans at these people.
not take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah.
He's got the strats. He knows he could just steamroll and walk in there, but he's playing the long game. And when they do the bit where exactly what you were saying, where it's like the Age of Titans is ending, where he realized I believe it's Zeke who says, "Damn, that fight was like their weapons are beginning to outclass Titans."
Yeah, no, you're right. He did say that for sure. Like, he said like the fact that we've had the Titans has made us, our nation of Marley, like weak because we could always depend on it while letting our technology drag behind the other nations. Yeah, you're right.
You're right. He's extremely smart, and he took it all upon himself. And he was manipulating both the Malian government and also I don't want to get to like how it. I'm trying to like lean into the ending, right? Because like how it all falls apart, and I kind of want to touch on that. How do you guys feel about how Eren was sort of taking advantage of Zeke's plan for his own plan, and what do you think about Zeke's plan versus Eren's plan? Because
actually, I do have some thoughts on that a bit. Honestly, I didn't like how like we had people who tried to invade from Marley. They tried to invade Paradise like on these ships, and then we found out like, oh, we're actually with Zeke, we're volunteers, we're trying to help you, and they helped them set up a railroad and all this shit to change other countries. But what I didn't like was necessarily like when Pixis like took them into captivity, because I didn't like there's so many fucking mind games going on. Can we trust them? For some reason, like I just wasn't vibing with it at the time, but like as it further explained, I understand, oh, this is making sense.
I kind of get it from their point of view. As a society of people who've spent their entire recorded existence being lied to, the fact is all these powerful nations who were capable of fighting Titans existed, and not one of them gave a fuck to go and tell them. Like, I can kind of understand like why they wouldn't trust people. Like, where the fuck were you? Why are you suddenly our ally? I can understand their depth.
But I just felt like the way I thought it was gonna happen when the new season came by, especially like after that scene with like when Eren's like holding like a blade towards like Berthold's neck, and like Zeke says you look nothing like your father. Like, I could tell that there's something deeper than just bad guys versus good guys going on. I always knew there's gonna be more of a clash of like ideals, but it's not really like a clash of ideals in the sense I thought. It's more so like everyone has their own ideals and they're going to achieve it. I thought there was going to be like a lot more like maybe changing sides and shit, but there wasn't really a lot of changing sides. It's just a lot of hidden motivations, and I felt like I guess it turned out cool enough. But at the start, I was just like, I kind of thought it would be easier if like I thought it'd be cooler if like we kind of like debated ideals and type of shit. But no, everyone has their plan. They want to achieve it.
I think you're right with that, because like Falco and Gabby, the kids, the children, brainwashed though they may be, they're determined to win glory for the nation of Marley.
Yeah, at least I just thought like Gabby starts to break a little bit. That scene with it's like the most hilarious thing ever. Like I was like so shocked, like damn, they killed Sasha. I was shocked with that.
That was the last thing I saw.
That's what I saw, because like we get to find out that like Sasha, the people from like Marley, they like have better cooks and like better food and shit. So like one of the chefs is there, and like Sasha like loves food. So she's like, I love your food so much, and like she gets this like really good, not like a romantic relationship, but like she has like this friendship with like this cook who cooks for her, and like at her funeral, that was just a good scene to me, because like Connie said Sasha was like my twin, so when she died, it's like a part of me died as well. I'm like, god damn, that's some deep shit. But also like
do they go back to Paradise to do this, or do they do this in Marley?
They go back to Paradise. They pull out after the whole attack thing with Eren. I specifically like that like the Marleyan cook is so sad that Sasha's dead, and like when her family's there, he's like, please, I must cook you something that I was gonna cook her. That was like a good clash of ideas, because when he finds the kids, like the kid that did shoot and kill Sasha, like he wants to kill Gabby over that shit, but he gives the knife to Sasha's dad, and Sasha's dad is like, no, I don't think it's right, because we're just making a cycle of hatred. What's the word? The little blonde girl who like Sasha saved from that Titan back in like fucking season 2, she tries to kill Gabby because like, you killed like my fucking big sister, fuck you, I thought we were friends. And that was like cool to me, because like it's not just like everyone has their own agendas, it's like the ideals themselves, they clash here, and like people change their mind.
Well, it's the whole futility of war kind of thing. It's like, why are they even enemies to begin with when they're so similar to each other?
I because they introduced Gabby in a very interesting way. She was also the most promising of the new cadets, but she was also the most brainwashed by them too. Like she was so
she drank the Kool-Aid
to like bring glory to Marley and destroy the Eldians. Like she was the most extreme of them all, and she had to face the consequences of her actions as well as the bullshitness of this whole lie that she's been told to, and her whole ideology on a Marley and the Eldians and how stupid this whole freaking grudge is. And I love how they handle it. It was very harsh, and you can really see the conflict within her.
What, so they break her brainwashing, or like they bring her down a notch?
Yeah. She still remains a badass. She has her moments. She has her moments. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, she's conflicted as hell, and she's really struggling because later on you see like she's willing to help the Eldians, but she's still willing to work with the Marlians. And I will say there is this. You said there wasn't much of a conflict of ideas. I think in terms of like Zeke and Eren, the conflict of ideals was sort of Eren pretended to go along, and then in the very end it was sort of shown that they were against each other.
Sorry, I meant to say
and
that like
Eren had the upper Eren had the upper hand, and Eren won out, right? And Zeke realized that despite all his planning on how smart he was and all that stuff, he was caught off guard by this, and he lost. But when it came to the Eldians and the Marlians and the Marlian generals and the cadets, there was a massive shift. Because you see, within the Eldians, there were the Jaegerists, the people who agreed with Eren's philosophy on wiping out all of mankind so they will be free. I mean, they were the mankind was the reason.
Hold up, Eren wants to eradicate mankind? Fuck?
Wait, that's what happened? You explain this to us. What the fuck?
Okay, let's go back a bit. Zeke's plan now
was to make sure the Eldians can have kids, right?
Yeah, so Marlians want to destroy the Eldians. The Eldians, they won't do it because the founding Titan King said, I have this massive super army of colossal titans that can destroy and flatten the entire planet, but I have them sealed up and turned into a wall that will protect my people.
Really?
Yes. So the entire set of walls is made out of these, these titans, right? And he says, if you come and attack us, we will destroy the entire planet. That is why they were left alone for so long. They didn't realize that the founding titan actually made a promise for himself of pacifism, so he just would not have reacted if they did anything. They bought the freaking threat and they didn't do shit. However, every time they punish an Eldian for committing treason, they'll take them to Paradise, the island, turn them into titans,
and turn them into a titan,
and roam around, right? So that's one thing, you know that bit. They wanted to find a way to get the founding titan back. That's why they sent Bertold, Reiner, and the Jaw Titan and Ani, right? That was their goal. But they weren't able to accomplish. They found Eren, that was the thing, abduct Eren and go back. So they have the founding titan, so now they can cause the rumbling. The rumbling is when they unleash the walls and have those titans just destroy everything. Now, Zeke thought, okay, I'm not gonna let my people suffer like this. What I'm gonna do is once I get a hold of the founding titan, or my brother Eren, Eren has the power to, rewrite our genetic code, because the founding titan has the ability to rewrite the genetic code in a certain way. He's a god of these freaking Eldians. He can do a lot of shit, manipulate the memories, and so he's like, okay, I'm gonna convince Eren that the cure for the Eldians is sterilize them so they can't reproduce anymore, so the Eldian suffrage will end. All Eldians, with the moment Eren makes his decision, will just stop, they'll stop reproducing, so the suffering for their race will end. That was Zeke's plan, and this way, the Marlians won't suffer, they've paid for their sins, the suffering ends. That was his goal. Eren went along with it, okay, fine, I'll go along with it, and went along with the plan. However, Eren's true motive is, they're going to reconnect. When they reconvene, he agreed to say, I'm gonna go and sterilize them, but his real goal was to not sterilize them, but to unleash the rumbling and destroy the entire world so they can live in peace. He's like, I am not going to sacrifice my freedom and our, ability to reproduce and our ability to live our lives. I don't want to have to deal with this bullshit guilt that these people enforce upon us, all the suffering they put on us and all that stuff. No, it's time for them to suffer, them to pay, and it ends with him just unleashing the rumbling. And let's just say they hit landfall in the last fucking chapter. And oh my fucking god.
Hell.
Yeah, Eren is
the new bad
guy. And now Armin and Mikasa and Eren had a secret faction of the scouts loyal to him and his cause. He explained the shit that was going on to them, and they were secretly loyal to him. They were waiting for the mutiny. The other scouts did not know what the hell was going on. And finally, when it all happened, Eren's scouts took over. They essentially run the island now, because the ruling class, they were turned into titans by drinking the fucking Zeke's fluid. Eren's people, they did not drink it, so they were not transformed, so they were able to be fine. They follow Eren, they're going along with it, so their job is to, no, we're going along with Eren's plan, we're going to destroy these Marlians, we're going to wipe out any resistance. Armin, Mikasa, and Hanj, and a few other survivors, including some of the cadets and some of the other Titans, as well as some of the Marlin generals, are like, they all end up, despite fighting each other to the death early on, they're like, listen, the world is at stake. We're the only few people who can do shit. We're screwed. We have to stop. Yeah. And he got out, by the way. Should mention that. So what Eren did was he undid the hardening affecting and released the Titans. So that sort of, I think that released Annie too, almost forcibly. Yeah. Now Eren's friends are at a desperate mission to stop him and to essentially kill him, but they're so conflicted because they don't want to do it, and they've established it. They're putting everything in the line. They've killed some of their friends and the scouts to get across the ocean to stop Eren. They have no hope. They're almost too late. They have a desperate plan, but even if you get to the main thing, I don't think you're not gonna kill Eren. You just wouldn't do it. You're gonna betray us. Like, this is not gonna work out. This is pointless. But they're doing it out of desperation, and that's where it's leading to. And oh my fucking god, bro! I can't wait for this season, man. Holy shit, man.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Wait, Otto, now that you've said this, I now distrust this season heavily. This is so much shit. How they're gonna need a lot of episodes. Holy fuck. Like,
it's gonna be
also, like, how often you watch a series where it seems the final bad guy was the main character?
I should have been reading this.
You should have, dude.
The fuck?
I know.
It's fucking crazy.
And keep in mind, if they are...
I gotta start reading JoJo before they turn Dio into the hero.
Keep in mind, I don't even know how they're physically going to stop him. Colossal Titans are as tall as the freaking walls, right?
They're 60 meters tall.
Oh, they're all pretty much as big as Berthold, pretty much, what he was called.
Exactly, right?
Oh,
so that's one thing, right? But here's the thing. Eren... He's something.
He's like 10 of those.
In terms of just
I heard about the founding Titan form.
Yeah, it is like
damn boy, he's thick as
Isn't that
hell.
like a huge back or something, like almost like a dinosaur or some shit?
Yeah.
Wait, that's Eren?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
Yes, the spoiler one. That's the one. Enormous Chad King Eren Titan.
I just typed in
240 meters. My guy.
Case, here it is again.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's thick. Damn, boy. Actually, no, he's actually kind of skinny because it's nothing but bone, but yeah.
I can't. Well, damn. Well, I was gonna say this, we've been running for, I swear it's been 3 hours now.
It's in my recording too. Look at this.
I'll be honest, bro. I think it could be more than 200. 120. Yeah, 200. I think that's fair. Keep in mind.
I mean, they probably gave the scale of it in the manga.
They're saying it's 200 meters with him bent over. If he stands.
Oh no.
I mean, look at that anatomy. Is it capable of standing?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
That's
No.
a good point.
Is it me, or the bigger the Titans get, the more disproportionate they become?
As a biologist, I'm gonna throw out that this motherfucker cannot stand.
Yeah, it's like, look at the Colossal Titan alone. Big ass legs, big ass feet, but a tiny head and short, stubby arms.
I don't think the Colossal Titan's that weird looking, to be honest.
Yeah, the Colossal Titan is all torso.
Yeah. And also,
And
even
no head.
Even Reese, when he turned into a freaking Titan,
the
he
Beast
was
Titan is
massive. But he was so big he couldn't
mean.
even stand up, and he had to drag his face across the floor.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
He looks like an inflated hick.
They look weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The quick question: why do you feel like this is distrustful?
Because
Reading
the thing
it,
is, it's supposed to be the final season. The most the season has been is 26 episodes, and it's been
They have a lot of ground to
at
cover.
least 40 chapters, and these are long ass chapters as well to come in. You possibly make.
So this is me being optimistic, right? Remember how the hype for Attack on Titan has gone down since the beginning? What if this season lasts a long time and people are like, guys, this shit is good. You gotta watch it. And a lot of new people are getting into it. They hear what's going on. They rewatch this thing, and I'm telling you, Sosa, it gets better.
So I
right?
heard another I heard another podcast where someone else was talking about it, and they were like, depending on how they animate this final season, Attack on Titan could be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's so freaking good that I think this might be able to end off in like the hype will once again, hopefully, reach a peak again. Because there are moments where an anime, I've noticed even an anime that people have agreed is shit, the hype will go up again when a couple episodes are really good. For example, in Boruto. There was this
Black Clover.
Black Clover was a good example. Boruto, where Naruto and Sasuke
Naruto
had
still
to fight.
sucks, by the way. Just need to
Kinshiki.
throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when they had to fight, when they had to have that one epic battle, it was so well animated. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone loved it. Everyone was hyping it up again. They went back to obscurity because no one gave a shit. Then they go back in time, and they had that arc, and then people were hyped up again, and now
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see what you mean about like being the fan base, but like it'll be different if like because you know some shows depend on their popularity, they may just get canceled or not. But things like they didn't say Attack on Titan season 4, they said the final season, so I believe they're gonna have a set amount of episodes.
That is true that we don't know the duration. Like judging by just what you guys have told me, they're gonna need at least 2 quarters to do it. There's absolutely no fucking way they do this in 12 episodes without disappointing.
No, it's impossible.
No, like in my mind, I think they're gonna need more than 2 quarters. Like,
well, shit, we mentioned Game of Thrones right near the start. My personal opinion is that if they'd done 2 more episodes in Game of Thrones, they could have done it far better.
No, I mean,
and I would say if they're gonna need time to cover all this shit.
No, sorry, that's the thing about Game of Thrones. Like, they needed more than 2 episodes. They needed like more seasons because that show was rushed. But besides that point, it's like
rush as fuck. But like,
but I see what you mean. Like, more time would help. So that's why like I'm worried a bit.
They needed time.
Because right now I don't think the amount of episodes that's gonna be out for the final season is there. And I assume like when this final season is out, because it's supposed to come out, wasn't it fall 2021? Was that when this?
Well, like there's certain anime, especially because of coronavirus, like the slime isekai, which is actually kind of good. Like they announced it's gonna, despite coronavirus, it's gonna come back January of 21, and it's gonna be here for 9 whole months, I think, or 6. It's not just gonna be 12 episodes. Like they're gonna keep it going.
Yeah,
I feel like because of the whole production situation, the start of it will be delayed, but the duration is gonna be long.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I just want to hope for it. But yeah, so far,
I just pray to God they don't rush this,
think,
because judging by what you guys have said, they need time to properly flesh it out.
Yeah, I don't see why they're going to limit themselves in the amount of episodes they want.
There's no real...
I say 2 ways. For me, I personally think they're going to do what they did in season 3. They're going to have part 1 and they're going to have part 2.
Also, I think we're kind of basing this off of Wit Studios, despite the fact that the final season will be carried out by different studios.
Yeah, that's a big gamble.
Really? Who's carrying it? Oh, it's Mappa, okay.
Are they good?
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah, they're good.
Mappa's not bad.
Yeah,
Mappa's good.
They did Dororo, they did Banana Fish.
Oh, I love Dororo, man.
I mean, I thought they did Banana Fish was this weird kind of Josei story, but it was still good. So I feel like animation-wise, I think they have the chops to do it for sure. I just feel like I haven't seen the trailer yet, but like I'm worried like maybe that. No, I'm not worried about the animation. I just feel like maybe feel a bit different because the characters probably look a little bit different. It's probably not gonna look exactly like the other seasons.
Yeah, they do. I'm just looking at them. They already do.
There's this one shot of Levi with blood on his face. It's like, oh god, look how they massacred my boy. Like in some places it's hit or miss, but it's safe to say that the Titan scenes are actually pretty good. When you see Eren rampaging through Marley, or when he's about to punch Rainer at the end of the trailer, it looks good.
Okay.
With the Colossal Titan.
Somebody
Colossal Titan.
Somebody have to ask you guys, because seriously, we have to fucking wrap up. Do you think this last season is going to be the best season of Attack on Titan?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Based on the source material, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Looks like it.
That is one thing. So this is the only other franchise I have known to get better over time like this is John Wick. Every other franchise, the longer it goes, they peak at number 2 or number 3, and then they go down. Attack on Titan seems to get better every single season, which is rare as hell.
Yeah.
Same thing. Every single John Wick movie is better than the one before it, which is a fucking enigma. But
Oh wait. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Every book is better than the last.
True. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, but even then, Legend of Korra wasn't as good.
Yeah, but things like Korra's more of a spin-off.
He's talking about Last Airbender.
Avatar. I'm just talking about the Last Airbender.
He's talking about Last Airbender. Korra is a different story. I still like Korra, but I digress.
Yeah. Well, Korra was the reverse. Like, the first season was the best.
So long as they're able to follow through with the quality of them. My entire concern with season 3 was, do they manage the political shit without being slow and boring? Because it's important and it's interesting, but it could be slow. And they executed it perfectly. If they execute the final season as well as they've executed everything else, 10 out of 10. Undisputed.
Yeah. And it's directed by the same guy, right?
I'm not sure if this is the last season will be directed by the same person. It's a different studio altogether, so it's different people.
But is it the same?
The one problem that I possibly foresee, the mangaka now has to write an ending to meet up with the anime. And the last time that happened, we got OG Full Metal Alchemist.
I hope that the creator, Isama, is in contact with the studio at least.
He must be.
Yeah, he has to be.
Because of just how good this could possibly be and how much the source material is loved. But that being said, I don't hate OG Full Metal Metal Alchemist, but like there's far too many shows where the anime caught up to the manga and they had to give it a bullshit ending.
Yeah.
Like Inuyasha, Blue Exorcist.
Wait. Anyway,
So many
Inuyasha had a
things
different
wasted
ending from the manga?
Yeah.
Stuff.
Inuyasha had literally the final episode of I think they did an extension afterwards, but literally the final thing is we're gonna chase Naraku to the ends of the earth. Yeah.
What about
and they ran off to
Tokyo
the
Ghoul?
sunset.
Let's not talk about
Yikes.
Tokyo Ghoul.
That was the worst. Season 1 was following the anime. Season 2 was like, how about we just tell a completely different story? Yeah, the manga's...
I haven't even watched that show, but I know so much about how
guys,
bad
we can't
that
end the Tokyo
went.
Ghoul. Guys, we gotta end it, man. This
Yeah,
has been
okay,
50
that's
minutes of recording.
Yeah.
But I digress. I think that if they execute the last season of Attack on Titan as well as executed everything else, it will be an undisputed 10 out of 10. It'll be better than anything we've seen so far.
And
Plain and
that,
simple.
guys, that is such a strong statement. We did...
This could be the next this could be the next Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This could be the next Death Note.
Yeah.
This could be the next 10 out of 10 that we recommend to new anime fans to get them into the medium.
Yeah.
This could be the next Gurren Lagann.
It could return to its former glory, and it could finish off to its prime. That's the thing, and because it's long, and it's going to be around for a long time, I think it might be, like, the season will go on for an entire year, maybe an entire 2 years, who knows? It gives it plenty of time to get people hyped up, people, yo, you gotta watch the show, and people will get into it, like, get to season 4, it's like, holy shit. I'm hoping that this season will inspire more people to, like, this will be, once again, the gateway anime for everyone else again, like it was in season 1, and...
Yeah, get them in here.
So-
One of us. One of us.
When season 4 comes out, we gotta convince David to watch it. Like, goddamn.
We will. He is going to. He's not gonna have an option.
Doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, he's not.
I'll drive to his house and I'll have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Wait,
kill
will
him.
you join us in David's persecution?
Persecution? No, but like if you want to kill him, I'll be down. So you know. So
I mean, the only anime he's watched so far is Goblin Slayer.
I'm not gonna say, but like that's a weird only anime to watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
Goblin
that is.
Slayer?
I think he's in it for the wrong reasons. Because I read that.
Taste in anime. Oh god.
The
course you
action!
do.
What are you talking about?
Alright, does anyone else have anything else to say?
Alright, shall we wrap it up, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Alright, Raul, that's all you.
Alright, well, that was something.
Is longer than the King Aaron Titan.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us in this podcast. I know that the 5 of you are probably really tired now, just given how long this one is. This is probably going to be a record holder for longest podcast.
I tried to keep it down, but you niggas kept talking, goddammit.
Hype and alcohol, I continued talking for several hours.
Scratch my YouTube.
Remember, kids,
Bye.
winners don't do drugs,
Oh, yeah,
except
Instagram.
Captain America.
Send
Oh yeah,
me.
and I'll see you all on Binge TV for the review of Attack on Titan. Yeah. But yes, this has been Lee G. Simba, Otto Hussein, Sosa Calibra, and I, Purple Benefica, or Repa Reptiles, signing out from the Lone Colony. See you all next time.
今ここに宣言します。パラディ島敵勢力へ宣戦布告を。